Hello, everyone.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you doing?
How's it going?
You doing
It's
better?
going.
How are you feeling?
Not 100%, but maybe like 64%, maybe.
Damn.
Well, we're gonna
It's not
ring
bad, right?
we're gonna ring that 64% from you today, and then you can pass out.
I am
Like
gonna
Johnson
probably
was
gonna
saying.
pass out.
Or we'll add some percent.
Maybe.
Make
True.
it go up. Make percent go up.
Yeah, let's make his life easy.
Indeed.
Let's
Thought
go
you
with the
were gonna
30 more.
say.
Mm.
Yeah, right. That'll do it.
It'll add some years to his life.
Gina loves it when we do that, honestly.
I do. Thanks, guys. I can always count on you for
It's
that.
easier to kill us, so then he has to worry about less percent overall.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely gonna kill some characters today.
Oh,
Fun. The question is how many?
well, we already know one
Yeah.
for sure.
We know one for
Mhm.
sure.
For sure. Maybe
It's
two,
Right.
just
honestly. It depends on what Sasuli.
I
Plot
mean,
twist
yeah,
is it's
assume
3 and it's actually you guys.
everybody but
I'm just like really excited to see your new character. Like, I'm sure they're gonna be awesome.
Yeah, they are.
yeah, citizen number 6 in that line that you guys saw
Right.
in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's a shame because you guys skipped rescuing my new character. So now
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I will
that's
have
how they were supposed to get to the spot. Like,
right.
you guys kind of
Yes.
fucked it up.
What's that? Your
I'm
is that
gonna
a
have
one? Or
to.
that like Shadow Realm thing, or something? Mm.
Or it was one of the people from the Claw who
Yeah,
That'd be
it
funny.
was one of the kids with the
Yeah, I
daggers
was thinking it was
and
the
the
right.
kid.
claw.
Their origin story.
It's actually Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is Liz's new character.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Yes.
Or
Head of the Alok fan
Alchemist.
club.
No. Dear God. We don't need any of those guys. Honestly, maybe that would be funny for my second character. Just go the opposite route.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What class is Tiny Tim, do we think?
Oh boy.
Tiny Tim.
Probably
I
just
feel
a
like Tiny Tim's a.
cleric, but it's kind of boring, right?
I think Tiny Tim is a bard.
Ooh, you know what?
Hmm.
I
Tiny
could see
Tim is a
that.
leader amongst people.
Yeah, I could
He's
see that for sure.
trusted. He's good at talking.
What if he was
He's
like a
as
warlock?
a child
I was gonna
already.
say
Well,
Warlock. Yeah.
could be
He's
like
like
some kind of
so
charisma class.
devoted, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But who would the patron be?
I feel like Ayla could be a good Warlock patron because you've got a lot of spooky stuff going on, and
That would be sick.
Pact of the Milkman.
yeah.
Let's
Also, it
work
has
on that one.
Locke in it, so he's like, oh my god,
Oh
I have Warlock
shit!
just
Oh,
like Ayla.
Warlock
It's
true.
of
like the same. We're the
Alok.
same.
That's actually
Oh,
crazy. That's so good.
He would be so excited.
All right, we cooked. I think I know my character.
yeah. We're
That's
all
good.
set. We're all set. Yeah, I know it's interesting. I do kind of wonder if you guys would want to pick different characters, what you guys would play at this point in time.
I'll play any class,
It'll be interesting to see.
except for like wizard. It's just I have no interest in wizard. Not gonna lie.
How dare you?
I thought they suck. It's just I'm not interested. I like spellcasters with more flair, like Bard.
Ooh.
Wow.
But you
Just like-
He's
make
saying
your
you're
own
boring.
flair.
Yeah, but like I feel like
I'm
there's...
not like other wizards, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
That's true.
I totally forgot you were a wizard because you do melee. I was thinking I
Right.
would probably only do the was it Blade Dancer or whatever it's called?
Blade Singer.
Blade Singer. That's probably the only wizard I
Yeah.
would do.
It rocks.
A lot of the time I make my character around the subclass, and like the wizard subclasses are kind of lame. It's like, oh, I do this spell, this
Right.
magic a little bit better. But
I do like divination though. I think that's maybe the
Yeah.
only wizard class I'd play. Divination is a really
Pretty cool.
just. I love that feature so much. I made it an item. I'm like, it's so cool.
Yes.
Okay, hello, welcome everybody.
How?
So
We are
last time
back.
we were in a lot of trouble, or
Well, I
no,
wouldn't say
Sumo
we.
was in trouble.
You know, Suma is certainly in a bit of a pickle currently. So as a quick recap, apologies for missing last week. I was on my deathbed, and now I'm on my death hammock, so it's not as bad.
Comfy.
But last time around, you guys had split up, and the three of you, Gallet, Alok, and Ruby, were in the Hall of Illusions, and we're kind of going on this little hopping around portals, basically, seeing little vignettes of what's happening in different places in the cosmos, even on multiple occasions, seeing what's, stuff happening beyond Ela, which is a little fun little world building for me personally, as well as getting sort of apprised as to what might be happening sort of in the world as you know it that you have left behind. Alok discovering that, he has a fan club who kind of look to him as some kind of a messiah. Gallet learning that that pirate council has not happened yet because the Reaper has been under lock and key, and as such, the conditions to trigger a vote for Pirate King have not been met. As well, at the same time, you guys had gotten some conversations in with like Ruby with her goddess Priscilla, Gallet with Calypso, briefly giving you guys information as to little mini quests and side missions that they kind of want you to fulfill whilst you're in the Feywild. You get the sense that the Feywild is a bit of a special place in sort of the cosmos right now because it kind of exists outside of this cycle of rebirth and destruction that's happening within Ela. The people here kind of remember those past cycles, have met you before in previous iterations. Things don't get reset here when they get reset back in Ela, which is a point that I think Suma becomes very intimately familiar with, as well as he was escorted by one of the 4 knights of Titania's personal guard to this beautiful, lush garden filled with these pretty flowers, each of which represents a version of Suli that has come here to this place. Oh no, wait, where did the music? Join? A version of Suli, basically, that has come here and escaped back to the real world and eventually got recaptured by the Red Wraith, and as such died as a result of that. And this little tomb in the corner where every single time Titania asks Suma to let Suli stay behind, Suma resists and is then put to death. This time around, something rather similar does occur. Titania, as she is owed a favor by your party due to the hijinks that happened as a result of Gallet's doppelganger, and the favor that was owed from those eggs being crushed. Her request was that Suli stay behind in the Feywild, so that her magic power, her chaos energies, her elder blood remains in the Feywild where it can't be used by the Red Wraith, where it belongs. Suma, of course, has refused this, and in doing so, maybe got a little bit heated, to some extent, and just said a thing that the Fey Queen did not like. If there's one thing that the Fey love, it's being flattered, and the opposite of that is something they do truly detest. She was compared to a mortal, and not in a favorable way either. And in a rage, in sort of a very petty, impetuous sort of fit of emotional instability, Titania ordered Suma's death. To which Suma merely stood there, not even drawing his sword. We're gonna cut from that actually, because as Suma, you are sort of swarmed upon by these nights, winter, spring, summer, and autumn. You see Titania leaves. She floats on past as the nights converge upon you. And Titania kind of sweeps one of her large wings over Suli. Suli looks distressed. She doesn't know what's going on. She has not been privy to that conversation you guys had. She can just tell that something is kind of off, but Tanya, this is her domain. You know, a little bit of sparkling dust falls over Suli. And Titania just kind of escorts her kind of like out to the outskirts beyond the edge of the map for now, as she doesn't want Suli to have to witness any of the violence that may occur quite shortly. Violence that, as it happens, unfortunately, the rest of the party is not privy to whatsoever. They actually have no idea what's going on. Gallet, Alok, and Ruby. You guys stand in the wet mud, a dense swamp, tall reeds kind of snaking and scratching at your legs. Before you, sat atop a lily pad, is King Wungo, this creature that you've heard spoken of by so many people at this point. He's a fully grown emperor frog, where Ophelia was, maybe the size of a small child, big for a frog, tiny for an emperor frog. This thing is fully grown. It is a round mound of slimy skin and authority, of warts and veins and lumps, two ginormous eyes that glitter and gleam with promise and a little bit of mischief. Around him, you see his loyal attendants, these pixies and little woodland creatures, lavish him, wash his skin with soaps, and fan him with large fronds. And beneath his vaguely translucent skin, you see a thrum of energy, electric blue and deeply familiar, kind of flickering and shifting. The king smiles at you, the three of you, and he says, this one. Well, thank you all for coming here to the Sweet Belly Swamp, my home and the seat of my kingdom. Please, go ahead, make yourselves comfortable. Have a mushroom or two. Eat a bug. They're delicious. Come on now. I'll not have it said I'm a bad host. And you were sort of ushered along by these little creatures that little tiny little thrones made out of lily pads that are situated, that afloat along on the water, that kind of skim across the waters. You were offered seats.
Seats on what?
Thrones made of lily pads, fashioned out of the leaves
That
of
doesn't
lily
sound so
pads.
It's
Yeah,
a bit wet.
Well,
but,
lily pads are usually wet and slimy. So
it's certainly wet and slimy. It's
Yeah.
certainly wet and slimy and feels a little gross. And when you sit on them, they're not fully solid stable. They kind of squelch a little bit down into the swamp water, but it is upright, just not it's buoyant, but not floating above the water. The king kind of there's a little ribbit, and you guys are kind of summoned towards him a little bit, and he says, "Now, I will reiterate that whilst you are here, you have my word, no harm is gonna come to any."
those were the pretenses in which you decided to come through to this side of the swamp, and I will honor my word as I am a just and dutiful king. But not all monarchs are as magnanimous as I. I suppose a few of you might already know to whom I am referring.
Yes. Of course you mean the Queen of the Unseelie Court.
No, you poor thing. I speak, of course, of the tyrant Queen Titania. She who rules over the Feywild with an iron fist. That despot who twists the realm to her fickle whims. I can tell that you don't exactly believe it. After all, Queen Titania takes the form of a beautiful Fey woman. Resplendent, shining, sparkling. She is what you imagine a just goddess to look like, whilst I am just a humble, warty frog. But looks can be deceiving. Tell me, you're all knowledgeable adventurers, ain't you? You know the time here in the Feywild and the time back in Ela doesn't exactly flow one-to-one the way it's supposed to. Might you have any idea how much time has already passed since you all have come here?
Like 2 years, right?
Like a year and a half or something, but could be more now.
Yeah, a year and a half, 2 years, around there. Probably a bit more now, actually, because more time's been passing.
Indeed. Over a year and a half. Ain't that strange? Y'all have only been here a little over a full day, really. For a year and a half to have passed, well, that's an awful coincidence, given that it's so inconvenient here. What if I told you that wasn't a coincidence? What if I told you the Queen Titania is twisting the flow of time to suit her end, regardless of what might be helpful for y'all? I mean, the longer the realm goes without its eminent heroes, the more innocent people suffer and die. Perhaps you've already seen a little bit of that in your trip through the Hall of Illusion. The tragedy, the inhumanity. But Titania doesn't care. She wants to withhold the girl from the Wraith as long as possible. So, she's using her influence over the Feywild to make sure that time passes as quickly as possible over there and as slowly as possible over here. Now, does that sound fair to you?
Not particularly, no. I would like for that to stop, or maybe can we like rewind it a bit?
That's a great question. Now, I am a powerful frog. Perhaps the most powerful frog that ever ribbited a rivet. But I myself pale in comparison to Titania. She's much older than I. She's been around eons untold. But an emperor frog is a special creature. Do you know why? I reckon you may have had some experience with my kind.
True, but do I know the specifics on why they're special?
You can go ahead and give me a nature check or a history check. Anybody can, really.
Were we told that it was their influence over creatures?
Yeah, you are aware they have some level
Yeah.
of like influencing abilities. There might actually have been some not lore, but like information given about this a long time ago. But you
Is it a
can go ahead and give
history?
me history or nature.
I
I think
100%
Gallet,
forgot.
you're thinking more of like facts that Ophi has told you or Feels has told you.
Mhm.
Ooh. I'll say this. Ruby, what you remember is Emperor frogs are especially potent once they're fully grown. Yes, because they have the ability to exert sort of a mental control over like lesser creatures. But it is said, there's like sort of like a legend slash rumor that the crown of an emperor frog can bend anything to its will if the crown is placed on top of its head. So sort of like if the emperor frog's crown were to be put on, you would instantly become its thrall. You would be controlled by it. There would be kind of no recourse against that. On a 22 ALOC, what you remember is that the entire reason that I don't know how much of this was said actually. So if I didn't actually say this before, now you know. But the reason that Ophi was on the Reaper to begin with is that King Nazaire thought that he could combat the Wraith by using an Emperor Frog's crown to take control of the Wraith and make it a non-threat. That was part of the reason why the Emperor Frog was commissioned to be stolen from the Twin Isles in the first place. The magic in its crown is so powerful, even like a godlike entity could be swayed if the crown is put on their head. Like a mind control helmet, basically. So that is what you know.
Yeah, King Wongo, I don't know. Because he can jump
Yeah.
pretty high.
I
Yeah,
assume,
I'm getting nothing.
I assume we're near each other, and I'll just be like, I'll whisper to Gallet basically what I learned, or just like keep it short. Just it's their crown. They can control people.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You
we
know what?
talked
That
about
should
this
have.
literally yesterday.
Well,
This conversation.
it's been a whole
It
day.
has been a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
it's been a year, a lock.
You might still have the ape intelligence too, which is understandable.
Yeah. No,
Weird
yeah.
enough. Yeah.
It's the crown. It's the crown.
Exactly.
What is the crown for 500?
Well, it does look a little bit like this.
And you see one just goes,
Ribbit.
and
What a majestic king.
I know he really knows how to sell it. And like a miniature version of its crown kind of like grows out of the very top of its head, and it like squeezes out in a series of like warts and lumps that kind of like coalesce into like
Oh,
kind of like a
lovely.
grimy, slimy looking, basically just a crown, like a crown, not with like any jewels or anything like that, but sort of it looks like it's made out of like almost like petrified bark a little bit. It floats up off of its head and it kind of like lands there like on your lap. Sorry.
It looks a little bit like that. Now, this is an artifact of great magical potential. Any creature who wears this crown will be under my thrall, subject to my royal decrees and authority. Even a being as powerful as Titania. Now, in her own domain, the influence would not be total. It would not be a full control. But my whispers could reach her ears, subtly influence her decision. And, well, it might provide an answer for some of your problems. Perhaps I could force her or suggest to her that the flow of time might be restored to something a bit more naturalistic. Perhaps only a week or two has passed. Something like that.
And
I
a
could
week-
even, perhaps, convince her not to kill your friend.
What?
Oh, did I forget to mention that? Well, my fault. Being a king sure does entail a lot of responsibilities. Allow me to show you.
The surface of the water glimmers and shifts, and a froth of bubbles cascades up. And in kind of like an endless flowing fountain, a screen of water appears in front of you. And you see the very last moments of this conversation between Suma and Titania. Titania saying,
Summer, autumn, winter, spring. Kill him. One more time for good measure. This man has angered your queen.
and you watch Titania kind of like glide coldly past Suma. You watch as like the grass beneath her feet and some of the flowers that she hovers over kind of like wilts and dies as her like cold wrath kind of like flits out of view. And you see Suma standing there, not even drawing his sword. Liz, how would you describe what Suma looks like in this moment? As he seems like he's not even gonna fight against these four knights. You're muted.
Sorry. So yeah, I think he looks almost like almost not even worried. Like he's sort of transcended the like fear of death in this moment and is just I think his eyes are closed. And I think like one hand rests on like the hilt of his sword, but mostly just to like center his mind. I guess you can't tell what he's thinking, but he looks deep in thought in this moment.
The rest of you see that. You look upon Suma, a fierce fighter, one that you have fought with, died with, kind of like almost accepting of his own end. What do you guys do after you see this?
Send us there. I just tell him send us there.
I trust you are of the understanding that I am not in the business of doing things for free.
What are you asking for?
Well, I want you to make sure this crown gets on Titania's head. And I would ask of you to swear on it with a pact. See,
Yeah.
We just need to put it on her head.
That works for me.
the crown will do the rest.
Can't think about it because it's time, so yeah.
Alrighty then. That's what I like to hear.
The crown kind of like vibrates, and you see this petrified kind of wood kind of like mosses over almost instantaneously with like strange funguses and like lichens. It immediately becomes wet and slimy in your hands, whoever might be holding onto it. And you guys, but yes, thanks. Well, thank you kindly. Um, um, and you see that King Wungo ribbits one more time, and the screen becomes translucent. It looks a bit like the magic in the Hall of Illusions, where you feel like if you walked through this water, you would end up in the scene that is taking place.
Is when he does this, am I able to feel any of Calypso's power?
Certainly, yes.
All right. Well,
You can
it's not
feel
like-
it. I would say actually give me a charisma check actually. Kind of like reaching into your like spell casting in this mode. Ooh.
I-
On a 10, you might be almost a little bit too rattled by what you see perhaps about to happen to Suma.
yeah.
You can sense the power. It is almost too diffused everywhere in this place to be able to pinpoint an exact spot where it might be. You guys decide to cross over, and you see Wongo warns you.
If you decide to cross over, you will be entering into a pact with me that you will do all in your power to place that crown on Natanya's head. Should you not, your lives, your minds, your souls will be forfeited to me. I leave the choice in your capable hands.
He said that if we cross the portal.
Yes. You cross the portal, you'll be entering into a pact with him, but it will take you directly to Suma.
Do I feel anything with the amulet? Because like it does funny things with like portals. Could I like maybe mirror the portal to make our own, or maybe take control of it so it's our portal, or do I feel like anything I can do with the amulet to kind of just say fuck you to this guy?
Go ahead and give me a charisma check, actually. See if you
boy.
can try.
Yeah.
Your Christmas way higher.
Oh, it's gonna go crazy. Watch this.
Sicko mode.
I think, yeah, so it is the sense of it's one of those things where you can figure that some of like an Emperor Frog is in itself a highly magical being, and you can tell that from the knowledge you guys have that Wungo is being amped somewhat by whatever amount of Calypso's power he is kind of like leaning on or using. You imagine like weird teleportation magics might not be necessarily the domain of Emperor Frogs, but like the power he has and the nature of the Feywild, his desires are manifesting in this swamp, and his desires are being amplified by the desires of all his little underlings who want what he wants, basically. So that is kind of like what is allowing him to kind of bend the rules here a little bit. You imagine that sanctum wherever Suma is likely a protected space, but that Wongo's influence has grown such that there's so many creatures feeding into his power and his authority that he's able to create these kinds of portals. Your amulet is aligned with such feats of magic, but it does not have dominion here, if that makes sense.
And before we make the decision, can you repeat one more time the exact wording of what we're agreeing to?
Sure, yes.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I'll write it down. Should you cross the portal, you agree. Do all in your power.
Do we know from the history check how the crown works? Like, if you had like a line of people, when you place the crown on one person's head, then the next and the next and the next, they're all under control.
I guess you imagine it's probably one of those deals where like the mind control helmet mind controls whoever it's on.
It's like the one from the SpongeBob movie, the buckets.
Yes, like the chum buckets.
And they take it off.
You imagine that theoretically one could, although if such a thing was so easily done, you can't imagine King
Yeah,
Wongo will go to the trouble.
Yeah.
It's likely one of those things where it's like once it's on her, it's gonna be really hard to get it off. Just because the person being controlled is now Titania, Queen of the Fae. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to make her do something that she doesn't want to do in her own kind of domain.
Okay, I can work with this. I can work with this. I look.
Can't wait to see.
I look to the companions. See, is everyone agreeing, ready to go?
Alok's so uncertain about this, but he's just gonna follow what you guys say. Hopefully, one of the magic funny people can do something about this.
Yeah. All right.
I think, guys, if we cross our fingers behind our backs and we walk through, we'll be good.
I tricked you.
That's
Gotcha.
legally binding.
That'll hold up in court, guys. I promise. Let's try it.
All right. Well, yeah. We gotta go somewhere, so we agree. And I guess I'll just run forward because Suma's in danger.
Wait, is there anything we should do before we go?
Like what?
I don't think we have time.
Suma's about to be
I don't
attacked.
know.
Look, he's sighing. He knows what's about to happen.
Wait, one more thing while Suma's dying.
One more thing.
Well, do you guys want to be blessed, or like, should I like do something?
I don't know.
You
Just
can
do
bless
it.
me.
Yeah,
The
while
Summer
you
Knight's
guys debate
twirling
and
his
deliberate,
sword.
Suma, you're standing there, head bowed. You see Summer has like a long like scroll of like grievous offenses that has somehow manifested. Like it's like like by the authority of Queen Titania, Lady of the Fae, and he's like running through like a long list of her titles.
Hey, we
so
have time,
that is
we're
what's
good.
happening while you guys are talking.
Oh, okay. Well, if Suma goes to court, he can maybe beat this. I don't think it's going to court. I think they're just
I
reading
don't-
to him.
Yeah, I think
I don't think
I think
that's
he's about to
the
die.
same as our.
we should probably
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you cast.
Wait,
a funny
wait,
spell
before we
once it's
do.
through.
Hey, birds. Do any of you have my bag of holding?
I think Suma has your bag of holding.
I
believe
know,
do.
but no one told
I think
me.
the
I
other
don't
guy
think.
has your bag.
I don't.
Would you
I don't think.
would you see it like on my person through the
Oh.
thing?
I think. I
Oh,
also
now we
knew-
have to go, guys. We can't even wait that much.
I'm pretty sure I knew about the bag.
That's my
holding,
bag.
So I probably would have told you.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it escaped my mind.
Well, you know what? Screw it. Hey, King Wongo.
Yeah.
I'm one. I like to negotiate slightly. I want tickets. You're gonna get what you want. I want tickets. They have
I
tickets.
did promise you, Tur, that your tickets would be returned to you. And that's still gonna happen. Uno!
Yes, master. And your tickets are returned to you, all however many you had.
I want more though. This is just equal to what I had. You don't need the
see-
tickets.
Trust me, once Titania is under my thrall, that carnival's gonna be going forever.
Isn't that great,
And
Alok?
you can have all the tickets you want.
Ooh.
Would you ask Alok?
Maybe we should have.
Oh no, I just
Wongo,
wanted to
like-
say your name. Like, isn't that great, Alok? A carnival that goes forever.
Yep.
Also, are you still an ape?
Question mark?
Nah.
No.
Okay.
I had to stop.
Right, I like that look on it.
No, thank you. All right, well,
Ready when you are.
Oh god, yeah, we have to
Let's
go.
go.
We can't stall anymore.
yeah, no.
Ah!
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're ending it. They're ending it soon. They're currently going over who signed it. That's not good. It has more signatures than you would expect, though. I run through.
Okay. You run through. All right, hold on.
Me as
Let me
well.
just.
I guess.
Um,
I think we
you-
should have asked King Lungo what he was gonna do though. Once the queen is under his thrall, but I don't. It's fine.
He's not gonna tell us, and it's not gonna be good.
You don't. No. Okay.
Only the best.
There's no way what he is going to do is going to be great.
Yeah, it's.
No.
I highly doubt.
No.
I mean, maybe it won't be too bad for us, but I'm not gonna feel good doing it.
What?
We'll think about it
Well,
later.
There's no
You
time
think
limit
King
though.
Wongo's not gonna be good?
Not on the up it. The guy that's taking
true.
control of people, like they have a whole culture of having masks so they couldn't be taking control. That's a culture. How long has he been doing this?
He's been trying for a while. Okay, you all cross through. Suma, you are there. You see Summer has reached the end. It's like, does now put you to death for the crime of likening her to a mere mortal, a grieve and death-worthy offense. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
I think
It does not matter, but
doesn't
you know,
even
if you want
reply.
to.
No, he's in his mind palace still. He's I guess he opens his eyes to like look at Summer and just like glare a little bit, but no, he doesn't say anything.
Okay. Then, in that moment, you walk up. Summer goes, well, alrighty then. Time to die. And in that same moment, you guys splash through outside of this little pool right here. You all appear. Let me put you guys on the map. Gallet.
I object.
Objection!
Yeah, we object. What's going on?
We object! You all just jump out at the same time. Yeah, you all jump out at the same time. Suma, you see your friends jump out of nowhere. You have no context as to how they even knew you were in trouble, how they got here, or even what they were up to. But they all emerge, pushing out of this water, and all four of the knights immediately whirl around at the disturbance. Halt! Who are you?
We are
We're the
Suma's
defendants.
legal representation.
Legal representation, huh?
That's right. She's a therapist as well. Better be careful.
I see.
She's
A
also a
double threat.
lawyer. We just keep on
Also, that
throwing
was
job
really-
titles on her.
First mate,
First mate, therapist, lawyer,
sometimes cleric.
nutritionist.
Yeah.
In that case,
That's
Painkiller. Everything's
Also,
In the
really good job
name-
reading.
oh, thank you
Good
very
job
much.
reading
That's very sweet of you. I like her. Do we have to kill her? Yes, I think we do. They're interfering in the execution. Oh, well, alright. By the name of Queen Titania, Lady of the Fae, etc., etc., you are interfering in some official business of the Summer Court. You must be put to death. And I need everybody here to roll initiative.
Really, we deserve a whole scroll reading too.
Yeah. I'm a little bit upset that they
Well,
went
apparently
so easy.
you already heard the reading because
You got us.
Ah, I wish I could
Actually,
lie.
I
Is
have my
there
earphones in
like
here.
some sort of insight check I could do on the knights? Because is this new? Has this ever happened before? Because they remember every other time. Are they shocked about this or no?
Actually, yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check. That's a great question.
Good.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
good
Ruby,
call.
you haven't betrayed them yet? That's bound to
was
happen.
like,
On a
every other
14, they
timeline, she
do
helped
seem
us.
pretty surprised. They do seem
What?
pretty surprised at this turn of events. They have never seen anybody come out of this pool before, and are quite shooketh by that. Fortunately, they are just like, hey, I think what you get on the 14 is that they have no idea how they got here, but they're also very glad that Titania's not presently in the arena to see that. Because otherwise they may have some answering to do, which they do not have the answers for. Okay, all right. Let's roll some initiative for your...
Roll low, roll low.
Oh, she's here on my
Yeah,
screen.
she's not in the turn order for me.
Here, I'll add her again at the end of this. Okay. Autumn. Winter. And spring. 4 combatants.
Those are not that high, honestly.
Yeah, they rolled not great, but they are kind of all going in one block.
Yeah, which is worrying.
Is the thing, which is a little bit worrisome. Okay, Ruby, you got a 5, 13, and you are sitting pretty right there. Okay, I will remind you that none of you guys currently, I think Ruby, you still have your Ring of Water Walk. I think you're just sitting, you're like standing on top of this water, but Alok and Gallet, as soon as you walk through the thing, you fall and like you kind of splash down into this water. Like, it's not super deep, like, it's maybe like, 6 feet deep. You're like kind of like treading water currently. But that is just a consideration for you all.
I feel
Alok,
natural like this. This is fine.
yeah, this is great for you, Gallet. Alok, you are first in the initiative order.
That I am. Oh boy. What a situation to be in. You'd think that if you wanted to succeed, you'd maybe port us to the edge of the water.
Yeah.
Who said I want you to succeed? I'm killing all of you. You guys have had too many wins lately.
Was that in character for the frog? What do I want to do? That's like a great question. Tard, what are they wielding? Are they all like armor with long swords or something?
They certainly are all armored. You see each of them has like armor adorned with like the markings of their season that they represent. So the Summer Knight's armor is kind of like burning in certain places. It's like bright gleaming gold. Winter has like, this deep silver inlaid with blue crystals, like ice growing out of the pauldrons. Spring has like these little like flowers and like, like leaves growing out of it. And autumn is just kind of like, she has like regular armor, like wooden leather armor, but like the cape is like a translucent mesh of like fall leaves in that coloration. You certainly wouldn't put it past any of them to have magic up their sleeves, though. These are certainly extremely magical, powerful individuals.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Are we half movement? We're half movement in the water, right?
Mm-hmm. Except for Ruby.
Yeah. So I can like get to here with half movement. I don't know if that would be in or out or. But,
yeah, you can like come up on the edge of it. You probably like sit down on the edge of it.
Yeah. Okay. How tall is this like pool thing, or is it like in ground pool?
It's maybe like 3 feet up above the ground, but it goes deeper down.
And these chairs are pretty big.
Yeah, like suitable cover. Titania is very big, and so she needs to fit in these chairs.
Yeah. I'll bonus action dash to get to here. I can't hide. Alright, we'll do that.
Okay.
Oh boy. And or actually maybe that'll be an action. I think. Yeah, I'll do that as an action, actually, to dash there. Or actually, you know what? No, whatever. I'm gonna hide as my other action.
Okay.
Try that for my turn.
Excellent. Okay. Suma, it is now your
Please.
turn.
Okay.
What is running through Suma's head as he watches a moment from accepting this might be his end, sort of an unceremonious one, befitting for a warrior of his stature, and like the length of the lengths you have gone to die in this place would have been a bit anticlimactic. But having kind of accepted that, and now seeing your friends come out of fucking nowhere to come help out apropos of nothing, how is Suma feeling?
I think while the knights were reading off to Tanya's many names and he was like racking his brains what to do, I think he was, I don't know if it doesn't really feel like praying exactly, but I think he was like eyes closed, like reaching out in his mind to Kana, probably not really expecting an answer, but just like, show me something that makes this time different. Show me something that my eyes cannot see. Like, what am I missing? And he's like racking his brains for something that would make this time not like all the other times, and then that is when everyone like comes out of the water and he's like, I see, so we're doing this.
Everyone comes out of the fucking Doctor Strange portal.
Just like... Yeah. And I think he didn't want to I think he didn't want to fight before because he didn't want to give them the dignity of a fair fight. But now it seems like it might be a little more fair, so he's gonna bring the sword out and start up the blade song. Fire will swirl around, and let's see, who? This is not... There's still quite a lot of them, and only one of me at the moment. So I'm going to 20 feet move over to the Autumn Knight. Yeah. And I'm going to, I think, just be saying to them while I'm attacking, I'm just gonna sort of muse to them, I think you know that this isn't going to go like the time before. Are you sure you want to do this? Because we don't have to. But he's gonna attack while he says that because it's better to just in case. So I don't know. Where's my thing? Where's my spell? Here we go. That's a miss, I assume.
It does. You see Autumn blocks it with her shield.
He'll do one more. I think he's in wind stance right now, so if these hit, which they won't, it's gonna be he's gonna have some extra movement, but I think he'll just stay there where he is for now.
Okay. You see Autumn bats away both attacks, and you can tell instantly by the way she's moving, she doesn't look to be the most physically strong of the four. Autumn seems a bit less, like her armor is a bit less weighty, and yet like the way she is able to practically kind of like dodge and weave from your attacks, these are trained soldiers in Tanya's like personal guard. These guys are no joke. She kind of like just looks at you and she says, I'm sorry, Sumalai, but such as the seasons always follow in turn, so do events always follow the course and the will of the Queen of the Fae. And we're now gonna go into the Spring Knight's turn. Spring is going to Yeah,
Spring has
that's
sprung.
good. Spring has sprung. She is going to, he's actually going to double back a little bit this way, and she's going to start weaving a spell. A decently powerful one. It is up to you guys whether you want to try and counterspell this or let them cast.
Do I recognize what spell it is?
Let's see. Give me an Arcana check. I don't know if you have this on your spell book. She's about to cast the Confusion spell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would like to counterspell that. Let me see. I will counterspell, yeah, at 4th level.
4th level counterspell. Okay. Attempts to cast a spell. The spell fizzles in his hands. That is going to be the Spring Knight's turn. Excellent. Was gonna be
Let's go,
perhaps
Silva.
a devastating spell. But well, that's one counterspell out. The Winter Knight's turn. The Winter Knight is going to walk over this way, and I don't know why this is a recurring theme in this campaign.
Oh no. I know
I
what's
don't know
coming.
why.
Surely
Oh,
I
don't
no,
know
you
why.
don't.
This, right?
You better not do the same exact thing.
Surely the chair blocks the cone of gold, right?
I'm gonna start getting PTSD each time I get that spell.
He's gonna cast the Cone of Cold spell.
I thought they were gonna have Ice Storm.
She also has Ice Storm actually,
really?
but she's gonna open with the Cone of Cold. Gonna open with the Cone of Cold in this path. Let's see. To what extent would Alok have cover from this?
I am hiding behind
I
it,
mean,
so I
yeah.
am fully behind it, but
I'll say.
if you want me to still make the save and maybe it's like halved on top of whatever I take.
Yeah. Also, that's not a DC 14. That's a DC 16. Sorry, I have not updated that.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm tired of the spell.
So tired of the spell. Ruby, give me one as well. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say all of you take half. Alok half from the cover. And Ruby and Gallet half for saving.
And then
so you
half
each
again.
take. Well, no, Alok fails.
Well,
but he
no,
takes half.
I take half twice.
Oh, yeah, you're half damage from cold damage. Right, I forgot. That is going to be the Winter Knight's turn. It is now the Summer Knight's turn. The Summer Knight takes out a burning flame tongue sword that immediately ignites, and you see he kind of almost pushes the Autumn Knight aside, and he says, "I must finish what my queen commanded me to do." And is going to slash at Suma twice here.
Swap.
Let's see. First hit. Oh.
I should say that hits.
I would
Come
say that hits.
on.
This is gonna be so much damage.
I'm ready.
Oh my god.
You should
God.
Math.
Oh,
That's
31
most
plus
of your
17
HP.
is
48.
48. I'm alive! Maybe not for the second attack, but I'm alive.
Jesus, I got really good rolls on some of that fire damage. It's like
Oh,
2d8
yeah.
fire damage. My
Someone's
god.
gotta go.
Okay. Second attack comes out, but a 13 is going
Oh,
to
thank
miss.
God.
Oh my god. Rolls a 3 on the second attack. Boom. Whiffs on that one. But he does not seem to have much spell casting, but he does hit like a truck. It is now the Autumn Knight's turn. The Autumn Knight is just gonna back away, recognizing that Suma's already taken his reaction. And let's see.
And she's really tired. She wants to take a nap.
Yeah, she's EP.
She's just gonna aim with her longbow.
Come
and
on.
she is going to, just gonna 2 arrows. First one a Gallant.
Does Gallant have cover because of the wall? I think it hits anyways, but
It's
think it
probably
does
gonna
hit.
hit. Yeah, it's a 17 armor class. Like, I'm gonna get hit.
It's gonna be 26 damage to you, Gallant.
God dang!
These people mean fucking business. Second attack goes to Ruby. A 21. Does that hit?
does Ruby have the cover?
Okay. No, she's standing on top of the water.
Oh, right.
She's almost like she's on elevated
Yeah,
ground right
yeah,
now.
That's right.
That's 20 damage to Ruby. That is the Autumn Knight's turn. Gallant, it's your move.
Alright, you see this? You see this spear? This is a 20-foot spear. Hits them all.
Yeah? Okay, what is this?
Alright, yeah, so I'm not good with magic. I don't know what I'm doing, but I found out a weird trick. It's like
Okay.
setting off a depth charge in another kind of realm. I don't understand exactly what it does, but it really hurts the mind. So I'm gonna do synaptic static.
Nice.
Synaptic static. Okay, are there any other secondary effects to that I need?
Yeah.
I'll just start making some rolls. We're gonna go Summer first.
They're
Insight.
Feywild. They're Fey people. They have to be not intelligent.
19. Does just roll a 17 on the die there. Here comes Autumn.
Okay.
20.
Maybe this
Here
doesn't work out as well as I
comes-
hoped.
Well, they'll take half.
Here comes Winter, who is a bit smarter, but is the one that rolls an 11.
Ah!
And
classic.
finally Spring.
That's wrong.
Oops, I forgot to. Spring also has a +4 actually,
Oh, god dang it.
Is that concentration?
No.
No, okay.
but also rolls an 11. Okay,
All
the two
right.
people with +4s to intelligence fail. The people with +2s save for whatever reason.
Okay. so good.
Okay. So, let me see. Muddled thoughts rolls a d6 and subtracts them from all attack rolls and ability checks. Okay, interesting. Okay, but that is going to be 22 psychic damage to our these guys. That's Spring and Winter.
And have as much for the successful ones.
Okay.
I don't think I saw the bar move that much.
It did, but not much.
Hey, look, their thoughts are muddled, alright? That means they're stupid.
Yeah,
But their
all
thoughts are muddled.
that is good.
I wanted you guys to have a combat where you're really on the back foot for once.
Oh yeah, no, we're immediately very on the back foot. Alright, well,
We did have two people die in the last fight.
That's
Yeah, so-
true.
I guess
Oh,
I'll...
well.
That was the last fight. Oh boy.
I was saying, Gal, I think you have like an extra swim speed from your Pisces.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I
Just a
have
reminder.
like 30 movement speed, but I just don't know where to go. Okay, I'll just have... My friend's sort of in trouble. So... It's such a hard decision. Cause Suma gotta leave. But just in case, I'll go here, and bonus action, I'll summon a tentacle to my left.
Tentacle. Okay. Achu. Where is that? Oh. There it is. My favorite assets.
And it attacks the Summer Knight, because obviously bad.
Okay. That does hit.
Sick. Oh, not bad.
10 bludgeoning damage. Okay. That's a... That did hit him.
I gotcha.
You see it slaps onto him, and he looks back at you, and he says, "Once I finish the job, I'll be coming back for you."
What do your
okay.
memories taste like?
Oh, maybe next time. Okay. I think that's everything from you, Gallant. That was just- yeah. Ruby, it is now your move. You are standing on top of this water. I'll remind you that your cool hammer does stuff now that it didn't before.
Wait,
Okay,
why
so
does
forget.
it do stuff?
Got that.
You guys got a
Because
bunch
of
of like
the
upgrades at the store, at the magic store. You guys all got your stuff upgrades, and your hammer does a bunch of cool stuff.
Okay.
What about like that
Um,
jar of electric quartz that she got? Does that like empower her at all? Or...
Yeah, does that do anything?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to try and use it? Well, I'll tell you exactly. Okay, I'll actually, it's in your possession, and your kind of knowledge, your link to your goddess, kind of helps you understand what it does. You may use it to instantly, as a free action, instantly refresh your channel divinity. So like a free cast of one of your channel divinities, like maxing out the lightning damage or the other one that's not relevant right now. You may also use it to it can also act as another spell slot for any level spell. One or the other.
One-time use or long rest? Or...
Kind of like refreshers on a long rest. I will say something about it that is interesting, though, is that if you use the bottle to cast a concentration spell, you yourself can also cast another concentration spell. Not on the same turn, but like afterwards.
Oh, okay, so it's like I have 2 concentration slots, kind of?
Basically, yes.
Okay. Okay.
That can be very powerful.
That's cool. Okay, question to the group. How do we feel about putting King Wungo's crown on the knights? Like,
That could be interesting.
is that a bad idea? Or is that a good idea?
Well, okay, so we know that it's really hard to take off, but like maybe it's not hard for him to take off himself. So maybe he'll be like, "Oh, I understand why they did it. We just pop it off really quick for them."
Well, okay, so the thing is, okay, if we suppose that even if it's very difficult, we can take it off someone, then that gives us the ability to do it, because if we truly do believe we'll die without using it, then that is within all our power. Because
Yeah.
we
We'll
need
take
to
out
be
one of the
alive to
combatants.
do what we're supposed to do. If we're about to die and we don't use it, I think that might actually be worse.
I have
I
a
like
question.
it. I
What
think
are
it's
the
good.
chances, Ruby, that you have mass cure wounds? Part-time cleric. It's all good. Go ahead and do the crown.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't. I checked and I was like, no.
To be fair, we thought we were
This
having
was
a
supposed
fun
to be a
surface
fun
episode.
time.
This was
This
a
Yeah,
fun
I
was
did not
actually a
prepare
fun
my spells
time.
correctly for this
You never know if like shooting the
situation.
apple off someone's head.
You know, I
is
think
wrong.
moving forward in the future, we should always assume worst case scenarios.
I thought we were this whole time.
Yeah. I have Revivify, okay, so that's
You know,
like
said the
worst
last arc
Well,
was
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
fun,
that's good.
and then it was torture.
What? Tiny Tim was fun.
Well, of course, this arc.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is maybe we should try to.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's cool.
I support it.
Okay.
I don't know what that crown does.
And
I believe in you.
So it's like, what, you want to make him look fancy in the middle of a fight? Okay, cool.
Yes, all right. I
Trying to befriend
suppose.
them?
okay, in that case. And I feel like this guy
Ah,
is an issue. Should we go for that person?
He seems
He's
like the highest
strong.
DPS. I think he's a good idea. to kill him.
He hits pretty hard.
Okay.
Hurt me.
I will
Crit
run.
too,
Yeah,
which is crazy. I roll
Yeah.
really good on damage too.
I will sprint over. Hi.
Hello.
And then
Wait for some
This whole
rest.
party over here.
what would I need to do to try to get the crown on?
It would be I would say a contested athletics.
hey.
Ooh, cool.
Oh boy.
He ain't got no chance.
You're the best one to do this.
Good.
You got this.
He ain't got no chance. This is in the bag.
Tell
Other
you,
than him
he's
likely
certainly.
being
I will say before you try this, he's certainly also the most physically strong. You can tell that he's the only person who like went with a sword. He's certainly the most physically strongest person here. I mean,
And
among
if-
your combatants.
But Ruby's a bad.
Yeah,
Ruby, you
Ruby's
do
worthy.
have your gauntlets and stuff, which I think gives you advantage on
Oh, really?
on a strength check.
Oh shit.
I don't think I have
believe
it equipped right now, though.
Wait, so
Okay.
you
I
don't
don't
even have
think
the
I'm
extra
wearing
strength from it then?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know-
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
not
how it
using the
works.
portal. I'm not using the gauntlets. I have the Warhammer, the amulet, and the 2 amulets.
Oh,
So
right.
What's your strength normally without the gauntlets then? Do we
My
remember?
That's an eight.
strength is 18.
But without the gauntlets. Because the gauntlets gave you the 18.
But that is without it, right?
I guess so. I'm just letting you know how strong this guy is. I'm not saying don't put I mean, I'm just saying there may be better targets for the helmet, potentially. But this guy's probably the best person to have it on, but the hardest person to get it on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Makes
you only have
sense.
one shot, so it's up to you guys. I mean,
Yeah, what are the chances?
yeah. I'll tell you now, he has a +8. He has a +8 to athletic.
Well, we have Suma's turn right after, so Suma can pick it up and I guess try.
Yeah, I'll pick it. I'll try to
Strength
put it
it
on
on.
with an 8th strength.
Yeah. If you can like
Okay.
take him out, sleight of hand.
Maybe they have a weaker one in the back.
I will try. I'll just tell them, hey guys, I'm going to try to do this thing. Can you... If I don't do this, you might need to help.
Okay. I will count this as your action. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of rerolls? Question: anything in the bucket? Any
Could I?
inspiration? I don't know if there's leftover rerolls.
Okay, if you have a reroll, a 15 is what you have to beat.
Can I use my
You-
inspiration?
You may use your inspiration.
That's very beautiful.
Okay.
Come on.
That's very beatable. 15's
Extremely.
very beatable.
You know what? This one's it.
Ooh.
Well,
Very,
Oh,
very
no.
close.
you have to roll a little high.
You
Oh,
grab the
damn.
crown and you try to jam it on his head. He's a bit taller than you, I think is what causes a little bit of the
Mhm.
difficulty. He just goes, "What is that?" And kind of like stops it, and then eventually just like pushes you back, and you see the crown clatters to the floor. We'll say the crown like right here between you and Suma. Crown falls and goes, "What were you trying to do with me just now? What was that?" But you still have your
Healing
bonus
Hand
action.
Horn. Yes,
Oh.
I'm gonna just do healing word. I'll give it to Suma.
Okay.
While we're doing that, can I retroactively remember an ability I have that doesn't come up often?
Hell yeah. Okay.
I have advantage on that con save. Maybe. it
Oh,
helps,
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. It was a 16 to beat.
Yeah, probably still not gonna beat it, but at least there's a shot. Anyways,
Okay.
carry on.
I did forget about that. I don't even know the last time. I think I remember you using that
Probably
on
the
a
last
death
Kona
save
code.
once.
I think the last cone as well, because they happen
But
strangely often.
yeah, it does. It's just a good spell. I just like it. Well, she was winter themed, okay?
Give me fireball.
She was
We
winter
dodge
themed.
fireball. Nah, it makes sense.
Yeah, why don't we ever fight fireball users? It's only cone of cold.
Yeah. That's my version of everybody get cast fireball. I already cast Cone of Cold. Okay, Alok, it is now your move.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, Alok, before your go, you watch as Queen Titania saunters back.
Oh my
You
god.
see the gate that was kind of closed over, kind of like phases open for a second, and she steps through. And she says, ooh, my filters.
Is it too late to
I
flirt?
heard a commotion. I see. Sumalai's friends have come to help him. Well, this will serve as good entertainment indeed.
And she kind of just like stays there. You see, she floats over to this chair, and she just kind of sits down and watches the fight. She does not seem to be in any fashion trying to be a combatant, but she certainly is on the battlefield.
Okay.
He's practically
that.
asking for it.
Do with that
I was
whatever you
thinking
wish.
it would be funny if I hid behind her chair so she'd be in any AoE, but I think they're probably not using that anymore.
That'd be pretty. I would like that.
I also think it would make me a high priority target, so probably. Man, these guys are all tickled, and I don't know who to go for.
He's watching.
Jeez, I don't know.
I wonder what her memories are like.
This looks like a very hard one to win, guys. It's not looking good.
Just go for someone squishy.
But that's the thing, I don't think they are.
The Spring Knight took some damage.
Yeah, I could go for that. I just don't know what they do. I don't know if they're gonna keep casting the spells or if now they do other stuff. I'm also
Spells
thinking...
are bad.
No, spells are the worst for us to deal with.
Yeah,
probably.
damage is like weirdly fine, but spells are bad.
I just don't know what spells are casting, so I don't know if there's limits. I'm also thinking... I have no charisma or ability to talk, but I feel like we could talk to Titania, but... I don't know if I'm the one to do it.
Hey, I will support you, whatever you try.
Yeah. I will say, Titania probably won't hear out Suma, but
Yeah.
you guys haven't offended her so far.
I also just don't want to waste my action on it. Who do you guys want me to go for Spring then?
Spring that sprung.
Yeah, do it.
Alright, I'll peek out. And I'll take a shot at Spring.
Okay. 25 hits. Ooh. 25 damage on that. A big chunk.
And I'll use Whales of the Grave to half damage.
Same person or somebody else?
Mm,
I think they're both in range.
Yeah. It feels wrong doing it to the
Not
same
that guy.
person in a fight where there's multiple targets. I only feel like that ability's point is for when there's one person. So out of feeling fair, I think I'll do it on the Winter.
Okay. That's what, an extra 2?
That's just
Oh my
seven.
god.
It's just 7.
Just 7? Okay, 7. Okay, got it. Oh, that's not nothing. Okay.
Now
Alok, that is your
I'll
action.
I'll hide. I'll do the funny thing.
Hiding again.
Big number. Okay, there's crit.
Big number. You are, even Titania doesn't know where you went. Okay. Suma, we are back to you. That last attack nearly brought you to your knees, but you are still standing, and you can tell that the summer night. And you see a weird crown has tumbled down onto the grass next to you.
Yes.
You don't know what that was about. You have no context, but you do know really wanted to get it on this guy's head.
I have an idea, but I don't. It's not technically allowed, so I guess I will not do that.
What does that mean? I'm curious.
Well, I have a spell that targets a creature, but what if it targeted an item instead?
Okay, what spell?
Like a crown, say.
I'm curious. What spell?
Vortex Warp. I can magically teleport another creature you can see within range. Or could target an item.
You can teleport them to a random spot. Do they have to be willing?
Let's see. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, but they can choose to fail. The target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice you can see within range.
What I will allow is this. You can lift up the helmet and try to vortex warp somebody onto the spot underneath it. So instead of teleporting the thing to them, you can teleport them to it. I will allow that. Otherwise, it's a bit too free, but I do like the thought.
Tempting. What is it? It's a Constitution saving throw. Okay, first of all, I'm going to use my bonus action to heal myself using the cloak. I'm gonna use 5 of my hit dice, so 5d6 plus 5. Oh, how much was the healing word, by the way? I don't know if
4.
4, I think.
rolled for. Okay, so 20. Okay, I'm at 30. Yeah, I will try to warp the Autumn Knight underneath the crown.
Okay. He has a +3 to this. Does hit the 20. A natural 17.
That will do it. Okay, then that's all my things. I don't have anything else.
Can you run away?
Not unless I want Mr. Guy to hit me in my butt.
Okay.
I tried. I saw what Ruby was doing and I tried.
Okay. We are back to the spring night. Okay. Let's see. What wonderful little thing. Ooh. The spring knight is gonna point a finger at you, Gallant. And it's going to cast a spell upon you.
I love it.
There is no saving throw.
0 saving throw. Lovely.
There is 0. If I'm reading this correctly. Point a finger at you, and you hear music flood your ears. Something nice and fun and jaunty, similar to what you might have heard at the festival. And you feel your feet begin to dance as he casts Otto's irresistible dance upon you.
Ooh.
You simply begin to start schmoving. No one even has to teach you.
Say my
You
name.
just begin to do it. Unless you are somehow immune to being charmed, which I don't think is the case.
Nah.
So at this moment, you still have your action when it comes back down to you. You just only can use your movement to dance in place, and everything has advantage on you.
Gotcha.
Or you can use your action to save yourself, but you can still use your action to attack. Well, you have disadvantage. You can still use your action to cast spells. Okay.
I'm out of spells.
Okay. It is now the Winter Knight's
Oh,
turn.
at the end of the spring... That was the spring night, right?
Yes.
Intelligence.
Oh, wait. Wasn't there a thing?
Yeah.
What was it?
At the end of their turn, they can make an intelligence saving throw.
The effects wouldn't
yes.
have changed the spell. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if it continues on, then if someone hits him, he'll have disadvantage on maintaining autos.
True.
Does save this time.
Does save.
Winter Knight's turn also is under the effect of that. Let me see. Okay. You watch as hail begins falling down on place on top of all of you guys here in this circle. And you watch as, curiously, the hail seems to dodge the summer night. Almost as if the spell has been sculpted in some way to not affect him, or perhaps the heat emanating from his body is just burning the hail as it falls. But the Winter Knight is going to cast Ice Storm down upon that. That is going to be a dexterity saving throw from Ruby and Suma. Gallet, you will make this a disadvantage as you
Sick.
are dancing.
Watch these moves.
Is it also DC 16?
Lovely.
This is also a 16. I have not changed it. Unfortunately. Okay. That is going to be 27 damage to Ruby and to Gallet. Half that to Suma. And that's Suma, you just want to counterspell it as it comes out.
No, I'll take it.
Okay.
Is Gallagher
That's
resistant to cold?
it's 17. No, it's half. Is it half
I
of
guess it'd be-
everything?
Whichever one's lower.
It's-
13? I think it's 13 either way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Mouth.
Is
And
Gallet immune
there's gonna
or
be-
resistant to cold damage?
And Gallet is
Yeah,
resistant to cold
it's
damage.
17.
Okay.
And let me just...
And at the end of the Winter Knight's turn, she has to save.
And she
Or
does
she
get a
can
save.
save.
Does
She
save.
saves.
Damn.
Okay. It is now the Summer Knight's turn. I'm gonna try to finish the job here.
Do it.
Going to attack Suma. First attack comes out. 17 misses.
Miss.
Woo!
23.
With
Shield.
shield, it will miss.
Okay.
Woo!
Both attacks missing. However, he then, after missing both attacks, is going to sheathe his sword, mutter a word in Sylvan, and then vanish in a burst of fire. And he's going to reappear 30 feet away. Where'd he go? Say here. Here. Suma and Ruby give me another dex save. Gallet, give me a dex save at disadvantage.
Hey.
Could I use Solaris to succeed on this?
Certainly.
I'll do that.
Okay. It's going to be 2d10 fire damage, 12 fire damage to everything left
I'm
in
going
its wake.
to reaction defend Ruby with the tentacle.
Okay. Tentacle wraps around Ruby.
Oh, well, that doesn't do just 11. It's just 11.
Okay,
That's
Ruby,
it.
you take 1 damage from that. Okay, you only take 1 damage, which is great. As the flame fades away. This is his little phase step that he can use every now and again. It is now the Autumn Knight's turn.
Oh my god!
There's another one.
It just keeps coming, it just keeps coming, it just keeps coming.
Oh, what's the meanest possible thing? I know what the meanest thing is. I think she's just gonna take aim. Gonna take aim at Suma. Misses. Second attack. So 25 hits
Missed.
Suma.
Nope.
Misses,
That's
which
huge.
that is crazy. Okay.
And my
Yay.
AC is 26 right now.
Perfect.
Okay. That is great. Gallet, it is now your turn. You are dancing in place.
Oh, yeah.
You are
Living on the
Let me see
moving
what. Yeah.
to the grooving.
Oh, we are in trouble, guys! Okay. And attack rolls.
It's so bad.
So, Oh, that's good. Oh, that's lovely. Do... It's obvious we're losing here. Quite obvious.
Feels like it.
And I can't leave. If I try to attack someone, it's very unlikely to work.
You cannot use your movement to leave, although I suppose movement-based spells would still work. Technically.
I only have cantrips left. There. I can try something, but it's not great. But also, isn't the is the crown on the ground or is it in someone's hand?
The crown is on the ground right here near Suma.
Okay, question. Chances are I do not know where Alok is because Alok is that guy.
Alok is that guy.
Stealth is kind of weird. Like, I went behind the chair and hidden. I probably didn't magically teleport somewhere. Maybe you can assume that.
Yeah.
The stealth is kind of more just like catch people off guard. But...
Yeah, I mean, I would say you have like. Well, no, you guys don't have the earrings. I think it's you and Suma.
It's Gallon Ruby.
Gallon Ruby.
And it's everyone's turn moving up, so I don't want to screw people over, but this is looking... Oof, you know? Okay, so then I guess it just depends on, do I believe Alok is still behind the chair that he initially went behind?
I would say you know Alok well enough to know what his fighting style is like.
Okay, then this is probably gonna take a check or two because haven't really done it before, but first, bonus action, can I try to bring the crown to me with my tentacle?
Yeah, okay. Your tentacles have a 10-foot reach?
Yes.
It can reach that, sure. I'll give you
Alright,
that.
I just don't want to leave it behind. And this is probably what's going to take some kind of check. I bring my ring off, and I wind up for behind the chair, and I throw it, and I'll try to use my sanctuary vessel at 10th level, where I can bring everyone in a 30-foot radius into my genie bottle.
Oh, shit!
Ooh.
Oh my god!
The only saving grace we had. Wow.
Spicy. I love that. I love that so much that yes. Can I just see what the wording of that on that is?
Yeah. Let me bring it up.
Absolutely, though.
I just say you're running onto the chair to do that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you want to bring yourself. You want to, while you're throwing the ring,
Yes.
drag everybody with you.
Well, only Suma and Ruby because Alok's out of range.
Yeah, but like everybody there with you as the ring is going, it's also sucking you in.
Yes, it's definitely something that's not easy for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially because I am breakdancing at the moment, so it's not gonna.
You are also breakdancing.
You have to wait for like the perfect part of the dance move to like throw it.
Yeah, no. I'm doing the thing where I'm spinning on my shoulders and I'm trying to gain momentum for the toss.
Okay. Give me a spell casting modifier check. So just use a flat charisma check.
Charisma. Can I use my human determination for advantage?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Lovely. 9.
Okay. What I'm gonna say is this. What I was rolling for is the tightness of the timing is a bit tricky. Is to suck yourself in while you are throwing it at the same time. The timing of that gets a little fudged. And so you do get everybody into the bottle. but you land into the pool. You don't make it all the way, because just the timing is a little bit off. You guys all enter the ring. The ring does not make it to Alok. The ring drops down into this pool. But for the moment, you guys are safe. Gallant, Ruby, and Suma, you find yourself inside of Gallant's ring. You have a moment as all of your initiatives kind of like line up a little bit to discuss and figure out what you're going to do next. You're out of the line of fire, though.
What was that? Is that
Welcome to my humble abode. I was hoping for, a different kind of setting. There's, I don't think we have much time for me to describe it. It feels like this is not the time. But here's some descriptions of it.
Oh my god, so many
Yeah,
paintings.
there's a lot of paintings. There is a lot of paintings all around.
And statues, right?
Yeah. And also the behind the bar, there's a bar. The painting of Fenestertio the Cunning. He's the bartender.
Oh yes, Gallant. It's been a while.
Don't give him a knife; he'll stab you.
Love this guy.
I love this guy too.
Oh,
Yeah,
you brought
so
friends. You don't usually do that.
yeah, no, new cool thing. We're currently in trouble. Suma,
Yeah,
really,
you guys want sidecars? I'm making sidecars.
sure. Why not?
Take a
Nice
shot
double.
while we're in here.
Yeah. You think Galar's gonna save us?
Okay, yeah, I guess
Ruby.
you guys have a turn.
You guys should just let them do what they're going to do. I don't know what kind of debt you guys racked up, but I guess I'm the one paying it. They only want me. You guys could get out
Speaking
of
of
here unharmed.
Yes, Suma. We got a new one while you were looking the other way.
Oh?
King Wongo gave us sort of an ultimatum. Should you cross the portal, you agree to do all in your power to place the crown atop Titania's head. Should you refuse or fail, your minds, lives, and souls are forfeit to me, King Wongo, Aspire the Third. So,
This crown.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
take control crown. You know, the whole crown fraud.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Queen Titania's there. Maybe we could just do it now, but it's looking rough for us.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that. I mean, surely she will resist, but we can try. Got any ideas?
Aside from just putting it on, let's see. Well, good news is even though King Wongo was able to spy on them from where he was, I don't think he can spy on us from inside here. And second possible good news is this might, I don't understand how this works, but it might, okay, so Queen Titania is slowing time comparatively to the Feywild to our realm, and I don't think my ring ring is part of the Fey realm, so it might have some time in here. I don't know how that works. That's a maybe, but yeah, I got
That's actually true.
yeah.
Well,
That's
theoretically,
actually true. That does actually make sense.
And if we
time
are
with
given
Feywild
10
is going
minutes within
faster,
here, then we get a
We're-
short rest.
right? That's how it would work, wouldn't it? Because
That
longer
is-
outside.
I would say that is how it works. I would say that is probably how it works. So,
Oh,
like,
okay.
in the 6 seconds, you could probably spend a long time in here.
All right, so let's make a plan. Let's make a plan, folks. Bring out the alcohol. I
thought you'd never ask.
I totally knew this
Sidecars!
was gonna happen at the time, and this wasn't at
Ilak is
all
gonna
an
be so
escape
sad
attempt.
he missed the bar.
Yeah. Okay, well, since we have a moment, really, this isn't in the middle of anything. How you guys doing? Where's Asuli?
Uh, I exposit.
Oh my
I exposit
goodness.
everything that happened in that conversation.
Uh,
So basically, unfortunately, I am contractually obligated to not let that happen.
yeah, I know. I get it. Dad's got a dad. What
But
was that cool spell that I never heard you use those specific words before. Nothing happened, but it looked like you were expecting something.
yeah, well, it would have been really cool if it worked, but these guys are pretty strong. I can move people around the battlefield, I think, to get in a better position. It works best if it's one of you, because you can consent to the
So
spell
good.
and just let it happen. Someone else could fight it, which the knight did. Um, but if
These
I
guys
could
are
get
good.
anyone in a better position, they're really good.
I haven't been
uh,
taking a memory yet. Okay,
I have a
well,
lot to choose from.
yeah, so I guess the main thing we have to plan out right now is these guys are kicking our butts. We'll have some time, so maybe, maybe in normal circumstances we could beat them. Maybe. On a good day. But the issue is Queen Titania is just kind of standing there. Or sitting, in this case. So, is our plan just to put the crown on her head now? Or is that possibly not even the real form of her? Is there any way of us for knowing that?
Um, could I try to know that? Like, I mean, Arcana check or something to see.
Sure. Yeah.
It seems just like very weirdly in our favor if she's just actually here.
You imagine that she is, in fact, actually here. She is very powerful, but she's also very, we'll say, emotionally involved in the things that happens. She takes personal offense. She holds grudges. She takes things very personally. So she would want to see this out in person. You imagine like how kind of King Wungo implied that putting it on her head won't turn her into like a zombie under King Wungo's command. She's simply too powerful even for that, especially in her own realm. But it would be enough to like nudge her to do certain things. Even King Wungo is like, I'm powerful, but like an archfey in the Feywild, in the heart of her power, is not going to be fully controllable. These knights certainly would be, instantly enslaved, but Queen Titania herself, no. But enough to where that if you guys wanted her to like let you go, or, like do you some favors, that would probably be easily accomplishable if the crown was on her head. There's just that like lingering question of, okay, and then what does King Wongo do with that influence?
Yeah.
What happens to the Feywild afterwards? But that's less of your concern now, I suppose.
Okay, so if we are pretty sure that we can get away with things if Queen Titania has a crown on her head, and it's not instantly he has full control of her, here is what I propose. We make a plan, la da da da, to put the crown on her head, and then beg for our lives. And then once we are given the leave and all that, we go, we rest up, and we kill King Wungo. Once we do that, King Wungo no longer has full control of her, or partial control of her. But once we do that, she will owe us a major favor. That is not a small favor. She will be in our debt for a significant amount. Definitely enough
I
for
do agree.
for her to not have a claim on Suli.
I
To get it on her
wonder.
head.
Wait, what was that, Ruby?
I said I do agree that we need to get it on her head one way or another,
Mhm.
and then I don't know. Is it stupid to say we tie string to the crown, and then as soon as she says, "Oh, you're good," we like pull it off?
It doesn't go against the wording at all.
I mean,
Right?
technically, it seems like you would have completed your pact already, and the pact would be over by that point. And
Right.
the
Maybe.
the other thing this I had an idea, but I don't know if it's worth entertaining.
All ideas are worth entertaining. Come on. Drink up.
Okay, well, they want me dead. And I
Yeah.
can play dead. I can play dead quite well. If I time it right, I could fake my own death as soon as or soon after we reappear into reality. And that I think would assuage them somewhat. It would at least make Titania more receptive to... I don't know, maybe it would put her off her guard, maybe it would assuage the knights, something. But then I would obviously not be able to help you place the crown.
Yeah. It would honestly make it harder to put the crown on her, I think.
Possibly.
And also,
all of you give me an insight check.
I've been rolling so great.
Okay. You all roll pretty high. I will give you guys this. The level of being that Titania is, even though you're talking through it right now, there's just almost a sort of realization that dawns on you of like, is she the kind of person you could just go abuka buga and like kind of like put a thing on her head? There's a level of like, I don't know if she is the kind of person who can be taken off guard in that way. But I think, Ruby, what dawns on you with that 21 insight is that she's petty and she is emotional. What I think sinks in for you, Ruby, like, or just something that percolates in your head is that it might honestly be easier to talk her into accepting the crown than physically surprising her with it.
That makes sense. Like if we were to taunt her and say like a really powerful being would be able to fight their way out of the influence.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, yeah. Or just like, yeah, I like, you get the sense like she's the kind of person that you'd have to use her own massive Fey ego against her rather than physically. I mean, you maybe could, but like Alok hit a 30 check, but like, are you even sure that she doesn't know Alok's there? It's like that kind of thing.
We might have to use her words, but I can't lie.
You can! You can, Gallet. Look, I'm talking to you in my own voice. The festival is on pause. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Alok
Is
did
that
it for
true?
nothing?
Alok
He just instinctually did it. He expected it.
That's true. Actually, in this space, because Titania lifted the pact in this area, I guess while you guys are in the Gallet's ring, it's still active, but while you were outside, you were not being magically compelled. You were perhaps still doing certain things because you thought you had to, but there is
my
no
God.
magical compulsion on the outside because Titania specifically lifted it out of character because I didn't want Liz to have that conversation talking in a southern accent, but
it
like
was
in
hubris.
character.
Okay, so I still have dancing.
I can lie. Oh, amazing.
But yeah, in this little thing, you have to do it. You don't have to do it anymore.
Ooh, what if you? Okay, I don't know if there's anything. What if you like? What if I feigned my death, and you were like, "I've killed him for you, my lady."
Oh, I would stab you if you want me to. I will.
You can if you, it would be the first time probably. I don't remember.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever got a memory from you. Honestly, it's a
You
bit
did get
weird.
a memory from me.
I
You
got one
did.
from Ruby and I got one from Alok, but
Oh
I'm
no,
not.
maybe it's from my dad. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. It seems like
I will
I just
soon
feel
have-
like
oh.
I just can't help but feel like things would be easier for you all to do the thing you need to do if she thought she'd won with me, you know?
Yeah. I'm okay with this. Obviously, you're not dying for sure. Like we ain't killing you.
No.
But we are injuring you, and we are taking credit.
Well, you don't. I guess you could injure me just enough to make it look good, but I do have a spell for this. I should clarify.
Oh, I get a little bit disappointed. And I put my sword back in the sheath.
What did we actually use that spell for? I don't remember the last time.
I got
An
it
old
from
grandma
Portia
for
for
Mind Flayer.
something.
Yeah, it was a special one too.
Portia
used it
themed
on-
death for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
But didn't we
she
use
gave
it
it
for
to me. I
somebody
used
or
it
something?
on Titus because he was infected by a slod, and so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what a fucking throwback.
Okay. So let's play through this. So we stab you up a little bit, maybe just a tiny bit, feign death, whatever.
There's a chic
Open
amount
to
of,
interpretation.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, we've done this so we can live. You know, he was, a danger to us all. Blada blada. Throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
How do we bring the crown into this? Is what I. Because, okay, so this crown is obviously. We're going to bring up, like, it's stronger than you. There's no way you could handle it. The frog is stronger than Queen Titania, let's be honest. But we have to play it in a way that she won't instantly kill us, and she's willing to put it on. Any kind of ideas of how? Because we're threading the needle, it feels like a little bit. Too much and
maybe
she'll just kill us.
Right.
She seems prideful. Maybe she would accept it as some sort of gift, like.
Was
know.
she here for when we were trying to force it on the summer night?
No, that
she
was
was
before.
not. Yeah, she was before.
But the summer night was still there, and he might speak up.
But he doesn't know what it is, because I don't think we ever said, like...
Yeah, no, for sure. But if you're in the middle of
try to-
combat and the people trying to hurt you try to force the crown on you, is it just me who thinks that is sus?
No, yeah, I see your point. Maybe
I don't want him to say, "Oh wait, hold on, Queen Titania, my liege lord, I must protect." Just letting you know.
Unless we knock them out.
maybe you could get a private audience with her somehow, like have them. Maybe there's a way to get them out of the garden for a little while.
Honestly, it would be better if they were able, like, if she ordered them to leave, because okay, so that's a good idea until the part where, alright, so she is only slightly under the thrall of the frog.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do with your body?
Maybe have them take it away.
There is a tomb.
Right. They're supposed to bury me in that tomb that was over there.
And how do we get you back out?
Don't worry about that part yet.
That feels like an
Figure that out.
important part of the plan.
No. I think.
Mr. DM,
Yeah.
my magic is funky and stuff.
Yeah.
Suma and I do have the ice Sunday stones, I believe, or
Yes,
some
we do.
form of Sunday stones. So how would that interact with this? If it were. It's a little funky.
That's such a crazy good question.
I just responded really slowly.
Is it
I
delayed?
think that
Yeah.
I think that Suma, the people inside would be able to send you a bunch of messages.
Right.
Like,
That would kind of all
inform
arrive
you.
at once.
I'd be like, Well, I
But
go
you would
over
only
to
be
the-
able to send back one, if that makes sense.
Choose wisely.
In the time it takes for your turn to come
I
around.
think that's perfectly fine if they can catch me up to the plan. But it also can be funny if you guys don't, so it's up to you.
I think
no,
I
like
can get
before
that
we
Suma
come
pop
out,
out
I
with blood.
probably would like tell you.
Yeah,
a bunch of stuff,
I guess
but-
Alok would start immediately freaking out that we're like, oh, we turned on Suma, by the way.
Well,
Just letting you know.
I don't know how quickly Alec would think about it. I mean, I'm sure his first thought would be, this must be some sort of plan. I don't know if he'd immediately remember all the spell. Maybe I'm sure he'd trust you guys enough. So.
This is hijinks for the
Oh, you
ages.
guys
This
did
is not
just
how I thought
leave
this would
me.
go.
You did just
Ooh,
leave
you
me
could
in the
even use
ring.
your disguise kit to make it look like Alok
Oh!
shot me.
Well, they know I'm here.
Yeah.
We're using every trick in the book.
They know I didn't shoot you.
And also, while it's
you might
lovely,
know.
like I love my disguise
I'm not with you
kit.
guys.
The issue with this is that once we pop out of the ring, we're all gonna be soaked in water.
This is true.
I
We
will,
are-
s-
No,
I
you're
will
right.
say for
It
the
was-
record, I think that Titania having control of time and such, she would eventually speed things back up to match again. But I think you guys can freely take a long rest.
Oh,
Those of you who are
full
inside.
long?
I think you are
Sexy long
can
rest.
freely take a long rest.
Wow.
If that alters your plans at all. But only
okay,
one. I will say,
okay.
I'm not going to say you guys have months inside of this ring and you guys are
That's
like,
strange.
you know,
We
you
live
have a
all our
whole
life.
training arc inside the hyperbolic time chamber.
You guys come
and
out
then
and
you
Alok
come
doesn't
out,
even recognize you guys.
you're 3 levels
Yeah.
higher, and now you can beat the
We're,
knights.
we're
You know
all
what I mean?
just super buff. We all just.
But I'll give you
yeah.
guys a long rest.
Okay, one, that's awesome, but I don't think that does.
I don't think that changes the plan.
Like, what? Okay, so.
In terms of different spells, if you want to have different
Yes.
spells,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing.
Ruby, just maybe, getting a little bit more healing spells just in case. Just throw
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, nothing's changing on my end, but
Oh,
that's...
I want to say Gallop's dancing the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, actually,
Your
you
legs
can
tired, bro.
you actually can probably just save from your
Yeah,
thing
you can
since
use
time is different
actions.
here.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you can use your
in a
own.
minute for sure.
Yeah. I would say eventually you save and you're fine. But you were
I did
dancing
like it.
at least at the beginning.
Why did Alok get the fun one? God. Dimension Door, I mean, maybe Charm Monster works on her. If she made a hugely bad wisdom saving throw and didn't, get the free.
I feel
I'm
like
sure
save.
wisdom isn't a good stat for her. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she seems stupid.
she has a
She's
legendary
not-
saving
yeah,
throw
no,
or something.
I'm sure she doesn't have resistance.
She really seems like
Mhm.
someone that focused purely on strength and left everything else.
Yeah. Do you think you could pull it off, a feat of talking to her, trying to get her to take this thing?
I think it's possible for sure. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty amazing.
Oh,
Wait, Chino, am I still actually allowed to lie in here or only out?
We'll say once you're outside you can lie. Inside you cannot lie.
Dang it. Okay, so I was gonna say I'm pretty.
I get it.
I'm decent with words.
I believe in you. And I
Yeah.
mean, I think, I don't know, Ruby, if this is possible, but I think you have maybe the power to enhance an ability. You could perhaps make Gallet's words even more
Luscious.
better. More
Luscious.
better, unlike mine currently.
More gooder.
Does it extend to charisma too?
Yes, it
Yes.
yeah, it does.
The eagle one, I think. Eagle Splendor,
Oh.
I think. Under
I think that's for
enhanceability.
perception.
Wait, let me see.
Oh, really? Eagle Splendor?
It is. Eagle Splendor, advantage on the charisma checks. And with the bottle ruby, you can concentrate on 2 spells at once. So
So
if you
you're-
also want to do like bless, that would. Oh wait, that's more of a saving throw, but. Oh, guidance, I
Guidance.
guess, would be the other one.
All right. So we've got good buffs, but any kind of specific way you want to go about this? I guess, Suma. Like, do you want to have a word or two before I stab you?
I have nothing else to say to her. Anything I say is just I really pissed her off. I kind of told her she was just like Yeska, which I stand by that. Maybe I
It
shouldn't have
seems like a
said that.
Yeska type, but like, we're just.
But she is, isn't she? It's
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think she's going to hear anything that comes out of my mouth.
I mean, you could further insult her and then make some kind of comparison with King Wongo. That seems to fit your character.
Oh, you know what? Can you actually put
Your dying words.
Yeah. Can you somehow like feign death to have like something to get her mad? So when I stab you,
right.
she's gonna feel great.
What? Yeah. I mean,
Is there a way
perhaps
for
I
you to
could
hold
hold
feign
it.
death and then just say
Yeah.
something extremely rude and off the cuff?
Okay, like what?
Like
Like
you
not
have-
even your knights could do it. Not even your
Oh.
knights could finish me off.
Yeah, I like that. I do like. I felt that.
You had to
yeah.
rely on someone else to do what your knights could not.
That does feel like it does make a little bit of an antagonistic relationship between us and her, though, and her knights.
That's true.
I was
you're right.
hoping that you would sort of single yourself out as the bad one here.
Okay.
Like, how about just like throw a few insults at me and pretend I'm her, and let's workshop it.
Okay.
Okay.
So sparkly.
Of course,
So really distracting.
I distract all with my splendor.
Oh God. I'm not used to insulting people except when they really deserve it. You have such a difficult face to insult.
I am
let's
quite
see.
beautiful.
Not beautiful enough.
What if
How dare
we
you.
say that we
Ruby,
are
do you have
working
any
for-
ideas?
Yeah, Ruby knows how to
okay.
insult people.
I do. You were
Although you
looking
have
very...
been complimenting people a lot.
I know. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
You're so smart for noticing. Appreciate
I
it.
know.
What if you said like that we had to finish you off and we were working for King Wongo, and where her knights failed, we succeeded. And then
And then instead of putting like that's King Wongo, and that can transition into the crown. That's actually pretty good.
These poor
I
knights,
like
they're
that.
just trying to work their 9 to 5. You guys are trying to throw them on the bus.
Besmirching their name. They're doing real good too.
They're doing a great job. To be fair, they're doing a great job.
They messed
We're
us up.
about
you,
5
though.
drinks in, and we're just smashing on them. Like, oh, did you see him? Oh my god, they didn't even know what they were doing. They were honestly, we could have taken them.
Trying to get them fired.
We were faking it because we came up fully healed, right?
Yeah,
We'll be like,
yeah.
your knights barely scratched
They
us.
had
I'm
all the advantage.
That's so fucking funny.
All right, I like that. So maybe like only the King of Wango's knights or whatever could do it, and then it'd be after you died, then it'd be like, yes, his power is great. It's so great that even with this crown, he could completely take control of you, Queen Titania.
Okay,
a
And-
stronger being could resist, but
only a truly strong being could resist, even if it is within your own place of power. He is sure that you would fall to it even here.
This is the most Faye shit that ever happened, by the way. I kind of love the way this is turning out.
Okay, the only thing is, I guess I don't know, but I think that she knows who you guys are
Yes.
to me. So what if, to make it believable, what if okay, we come out, I'm holding my feigned death, you stab me, and you say, in the name of King Wungo, I beseech, or I blast you. And then I say, King Wungo, how could you have betrayed me like this, Scout? And then I die.
Okay.
I thought we were in this together. Or
Long live
not-
King Wungo.
I'm not great at the performance, so maybe I just don't say anything. Maybe I just die.
If Suli were to see it, I think that would really sell it, because she would have no clue, and she would really think you were dead.
Yeah, no,
And
she'd
she would
believe it.
also think that
Eh,
we betrayed you.
Any
It would be
chance-
sad.
Worst thing that's ever happened to me. Worse than anything else that's happened before. Oh god.
But you'll be alive.
Yes?
What is question? Just I love it. I love it. Just a question. If Suli sees that, and you have to please be honest with me, is she going to instantly gain all her power and kill me? I feel like that's on the table.
For
Like
real.
I'm a
I
bit.
could not rule it out.
She is
I
a
could
very
not
nice
rule it
little
out.
girl and all that, but she
It
does
is
sometimes scare me.
possible that might happen. I cannot tell you one way or the other.
I'm
we
just-
would immediately
I'm
be
just
like,
saying,
oh,
I
I could Gala do that.
I don't want to die immediately.
I'm not there to tell you guys this, but you guys remember Titania came in without Suli, so.
Yeah, but she's still there.
She'll
She's
show
like in the
Yeah, in the
I
back.
will
falling
remind
behind.
you that
It-
with all your time in here, you could just send to Suli.
Oh,
True.
Suma, you just fix it. Oh, and maybe Suli can play along. Or no.
Or
You
you
know
could
what?
transport
You
her
should lie to
to
Suli.
the thing.
You should lie to her and make her believe. But also put it in a way that it was unavoidable and it is definitely not at all, and you'd be upset if she ever thought it was my fault.
Okay. I
That's-
think that if okay, it is
So
against
much
my
water.
moral code to what is my moral code? I don't think I have
Can you
one.
just give her a little bit of trauma?
Can you just
a
traumatize
little?
your own daughter really quickly?
She already has so much.
What's
Relatively, it's nothing.
I think either I send her sending that says it's not real, or I don't say anything and she just believes what she sees.
I just don't want to die. That's all.
I don't
I'm throwing out there.
I don't think you will die.
Are you sure?
If you die, I promise that
Everyone
you
keeps
can
on
haunt me in the
keeping her
afterlife.
as their MacGuffin, and I don't want to die.
She's not at full power right now.
Fully. Don't.
I think
Okay,
you'll be
okay.
fine.
Yeah, you know what?
I believe in you.
You know, if she doesn't go sicko mode in many other scenarios, she won't go it now, probably. You know what? I'm just happy I'm getting a full rest. I'm gonna make sure that works out for me.
Right.
Okay, so... Oh, so we're going with the
And
working Wungo. We betrayed you because you're not with us, because you're not with King Wungo.
Right.
And King Wungo
Indeed.
wants Suli.
Oh, he
and-
does, doesn't he? Yes.
He wants... Because it's what Titania wants.
Of
And
course,
he is stronger and
yes.
better than Titania.
That's
All
right.
right. And
Okay.
with this crown, he would be able to take it all. And why would he want us to tell her this? Bec-
He was doing
Because-
her a favor? I don't know.
because it can go both ways.
Maybe. Ooh, what if he's like challenging her to a competition? What if he's like,
Oh, a challenge!
if you can resist the powers of my crown,
I love it. You know
then-
what? That is so fey of him. I love it.
yeah. And she can't. I
It's
feel
a
like she couldn't
challenge.
resist a challenge. I feel
Yeah,
like
it is a call out.
yeah, throw the gauntlet.
Yes, girl. Queen. I've been drinking a bit too
Push
much.
my drink around.
It is such
I
a
need
shame
this.
Alok is not here.
Next drink, screwdrivers.
You won't believe how many alehouses I've robbed just for this. Okay, so working Wongo people stab you. You know, we get that out of the way. Then
Yeah.
basically that, and once the crown is on, we will... Well, I mean, she will have sort of won, and we will beg for our life. Because she is obviously superior, and the queen. And, you are dead. And, you know, as your former captain and first mate, we have to bury you in the coffin. It is somewhat of our right. And we did betray you, and we do feel a bit bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll bury you in the coffin,
All right.
and, so now the issue is how to get you out of the coffin. So, how do we do that part?
Well, I can dimension door out of the coffin.
And she will not feel this?
I don't know. I guess.
Okay, when you dimension door, you'll have to book it. Okay, so, just in case, because, like, if she's as good as everyone says, she's good.
Right.
So,
well,
she might
is
feel
this
it,
before or
so-
after she takes the crown off?
No, she'll have the crown on.
Okay.
Maybe the whispers will be enough, but just in
I
case.
could get a running head start, I feel like.
Yeah. Let's, like, you know, maybe you jump away after, like, an
Yeah, I can
hour or
cast
two.
a little speedy spell in the coffin.
We should have a place
Yeah.
to meet up that is not within Queen Titania's control. The initial place where we where we all slept, maybe there.
Maybe old man Vernon, was that his name? That was
Near
not
the entrance of the
Tania's
Summerwood,
territory,
yes.
I think, because he was under Wonga's influence.
Okay. The issue with that is alright, so let's say everything goes right. Issue I'm coming across is so everything goes right, we meet up. We have to immediately kill King Wongo. I mean, I guess we don't have to, but I get power, Calypso said, if I kill him. Which already, I mean, I
Yeah.
want that. I do want that. And also, I just don't trust them. You know, people who just
Right.
take over other people's minds like that. I'm
It's
gonna be
pretty
honest, they're scared.
bad. I've come up with another possible hitch. We need a name of a piece of land. And
I believe
I
you can
guess
get that
if
from Queen
we
Titania.
yeah, so okay, we get the favor from Titania by freeing her from Wungo's influence, although anyway, hopefully that will be the case, and then I think that's what you should use it for.
And taking out a main
Uh,
issue of her. I was hoping that we could get that for she can't have any hold on Suli, and also, you know, a piece of land, which she doesn't give a crap about. But if we can't do that, then I can still bring out the paper.
Oh, right, yes.
The deed.
The deed, yes. Well,
It
I guess
is,
we'll get to that when we come to it.
Yeah, I think this is a very solid plan.
You also still have that land.
Yeah.
What land?
That land that you spend so much time hyping up.
Oh, yeah, the deed.
Building.
That's what
the
we were
deed,
talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the deed. Okay, right.
Yeah, the paper. Alright, I'm liking this. Ugh. I'm
Alright.
sorry about the accommodations. I didn't think we'd be sleeping in here, honestly speaking.
it's nice. It's nice.
Oh,
Long
yeah.
Island iced teas. It's just more
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm done.
I really.
couldn't possibly.
Oh. You know what really sucks the most about this place? Other than, you know, being reminded that this is the ship, my old ship that sunk and killed everyone.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a broken ship at the bottom. It's if you look through the porthole, you'll see like corpses and skeletons of people wrapped in chains.
Oh.
You don't want to really look that much out there.
I immediately have to go look. You tell me not to look at something, I have to go look.
I haven't seen Alice in a while.
Ooh.
But the issue, other than that, what I was coming to is I can't get a bathroom on here. I don't know how to. There is no bathroom in here. I have a corner bucket. So
That is a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't a part of the deal. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe I should lay low on the drink and almost screwdriver for the road.
You've done it now.
All right. Don't
right.
forget to send a quick message to Alok letting him know what we're doing.
Yes, I send multiple sending stones in succession,
You butt dialed
detailing the
and
plan.
I heard the whole conversation, but
Oh, I did. I was butt dialing. That's right.
And a lot of the weird roleplay, like Galad as Titania was in there too, and that really leaves Alok confused. So it's just like randomly echoing in there, like with all the other stuff. He's like, "What the hell is that?"
Especially
like
when it all comes to you in a span of 6 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, is everyone happy with what we're going with?
I love it.
I honestly don't even know. I stopped listening so that I could share this off for the first time as Titania.
Honestly speaking, I'm a bit unsure about it, but that's the perfect way to end that.
If I'm remembering something, I'm like 90% sure it's not going to work, but we'll see how it goes.
Well,
that's
all right.
So lovely.
Right,
that is your input.
Well, that's Ryan's input.
You have one, to be fair,
you do have
one thing you can say before we all appear.
That's true. Alok, you do get one response.
So I hear all of that. I'm just like, holy shit. Oh man, I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I guess let me confirm with Mr. DM first before, because I don't know if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure when we first got here, we were told that Titania can sense anyone that's in her domain. Like, she was able to tell that we immediately arrived, because she's like, oh, they're here now. So, would she be able to be like, oh, Suma's alive now? Again?
Yeah, but like, Suma would still have to book it, no matter what. That's why I said.
So was that the plan? Was that Suma would teleport and then book it? That's the plan.
Yeah. And then we all meet. Well, we never actually solved. Okay, are we gonna meet up? I don't want to be meeting up anywhere near King Wungo.
Let's meet up. Yeah, I guess the path where we first
got here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my only response would be, I think trying to lie to a Fae queen is insane, because that is what they build their whole ideals on, is lying and tricking
I
people.
think
Good
Yes.
luck.
we're not
It is
like
insane.
totally lying.
Good luck.
Technically,
But
we
we're
are
not
working
just
for
lying.
Longo.
We're putting on a show.
Mm.
And
Well,
that
just
is
enough of the
Faye.
truth
Good
to,
luck.
you know. All right, I
Just
think
in
just yeah.
case.
So
I can cast Death Ward on each of us.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
lovely.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And so and are we doing enhanceability and guidance and any other buffs? Are there any buffs happening?
I mean, Death Ward will last 8 hours, so that one will be good still. I don't know how long enhanceability.
Well, you can cast it right
Just
before you
before.
leave. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't guidance and
True.
invincibility. Keep that, because they're both concentrated. Oh, I guess if you use the
But she has her
lightning
bottle.
thing. Yeah.
She has her bottle. If you wanted to do that really bad.
Could I have cast this before the long rest, and then
Yeah, absolutely. You had time to do so.
okay. So we each have Death Ward,
Well,
and then
Keep in mind the long rest is
Or
8
we-
hours, so it would be gone by the time you wake up.
So you could cast it right after you wake up from the long rest. And it would be lasting.
and that's not concentration. Okay. And
It's not.
then
Good spell.
I would do enhance ability for Gallet. Anything
Yeah.
else y'all want?
I mean, I think
Bless y'all.
that's-
Just before
I theoretically won't need it if I'm dead. And if we're not fighting, I feel like
yeah, it's not. I don't think we necessarily need it.
hopefully we're not fighting. We shall see.
I don't like this.
It's yeah, no, it's not good. In the morning after I wake up from all those drinks,
Oh wait.
does not seem as good. But
Make sure to long
Oh.
rest, Ruby.
I guess I could do guidance.
yeah, probably on Gallet is
Well,
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So are you using the lightning thing then? The bottle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Cool.
The best
I'm
shot-
gonna
the best shot you guys
Suma,
got.
before we go, I'm sorry this is gonna sting a bit, but we do have to make you look a little bit roughed up.
Yep, nope, I was expecting that. I'm ready. Try to make it look as much like it did yesterday.
Yeah. So, Ruby, can you just like leave us some bruises? I'll leave some cuts, and then the main cut will be what we finish with.
Here, you can take my sword. It does flame damage like that one guy.
Okay, but the final cut's my sword. Let's be clear.
Yeah, no, obviously.
This
Yeah,
feels
yeah, it's-
really wrong.
Yeah, but you have to remember this is what Suma wants.
Gallet, you should attack Sumo a bunch with your memory sword. Just get a shit ton
I
of
know. No, but I want to savor it. And also more burns. You know, this is about selling it. The last one is the special one. That one's for me. All right.
That's right.
All right. You're looking good and beat up and burnt and bruised and bloodied. Good.
All right.
All right, now let me
I feel good.
Now, I'm gonna do this little thing where I start floating, and I'll grab you by the back of your neck, because we're gonna fall in the water, so I want to rise, and when we rise out of the water, I want you to say your words.
Do the, yeah. Okay, I
and then I am going to impale you with the sword.
Okay.
Not non-vitally, but, I mean...
I understand. I'm gonna pre-prepare.
It's gonna be rough.
Prepare my feign death, and I'm gonna hold it so that I can.
It's gonna
as
look
soon as
like
Nico
a high
stabs
school
me,
play of like a Shakespeare. it's gonna look so bad.
No, this is what Queen Titania
that would be
wants.
good.
Woe is
Have
me.
you guys seen Zootopia? Where like they're like, oh,
Oh yeah, blood,
Yeah.
blood.
Yes.
Yeah, like they put the cord through
Yeah.
the shoulder. He's like, oh no.
It sprays out still.
You jerk! Okay, so time passes. Precast everything. You precast. You do whatever preparations you need to do. Feign death is prepared. Death wards are cast. Guidance, enhance ability. You emerge from Gallet's ring, floating up. Ruby, you instantly shoot up to the top of the water because of your water walk ring. And then Gallet, you rise up from the depths, holding Suma by the scruff of his neck. Suma, you look beat up and cut and torn.
Line.
You're bleeding and bruised. You're breathing heavily. And then all of a sudden, the knights are. It's still your guys' turn, So they had just kind of finished this whole salvo of offensive spells and like all their special abilities. They don't even know what happened. But Gallet, you rise up. And Titania kind of cocks her head like she knows something is different. Just from a glance, like
Stage
Gallet
presence.
and Ruby don't look as injured as they did seconds ago, right? So that's something that is, I think, immediately visible. Titania just looks, and what do you say, Gallet? Because you're kind of like right in front of her in this stage, right? You're kind of like, it's like perfect viewing angle for Titania. What do you do? What do you say to her?
Titania?
Yeah, like what do you say? Like how do you begin the scene?
I think it's obviously stage voice, but this is not for Titania. This is more me, Gallet, and Suma. This is an us thing.
Right.
You're
betraying me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're cheating out towards the audience a little.
Yeah. Using my diaphragm and everything.
You're projecting, for sure.
You won't join us, Suma? After everything? King Wongo can make it right.
As long as he wants her, I will never fall under his thrall.
You disgust me and I stab you through.
You see the Winter Knight goes.
Oh my god!
Come on,
So
now
we're not
you're
gonna-
drawing out dramatic
Pizza?
monologue while you're dying. Go.
Gallet, go and give me a performance check, actually.
Oh my god,
Is
I
that
don't even
with,
have
with
proficiency in that.
Or deception.
Yeah.
Either one.
Performance or deception. Well, deception's better.
Kill it.
19.
You have to
And
get
I will apply a guidance to this, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
seems a bit low.
Okay, toss the guidance, 1d4.
Okay.
22. Gallet, you stab Suma through. Suma, as your feigned death spell takes into effect, what does it look like? Like, describe to me what Suma's final moments look like for the crowd.
I think it's like Gallet has me by the back of my neck with one hand and like stabbing through the torso with the other hand, and then Gallet, I think you maybe just like push me forward so that my head kind of like rolls onto the side of the pool.
I
And
toss
just,
you
like,
aside.
my hair flows into the water, sadly. The blood that is real blood,
Yeah.
by the way, seeping out from my body.
Suma, your corpse floats out into the center of the pool. Very Gatsby. Hair snaked out around you. Blood
Let's
is
take the
seeping
line.
into these clear waters. You have one last thing you can say,
Say the line.
if you would like. right before the feigned death completely takes hold.
I don't know. I obviously can't see because I'm dead if Suli is there, but just in case she is, I apologize to her in my mind, and I say, I'm so sorry, my love. I tried.
Titania stands. Wings fully extend. She is normally so poised, so elegant, so full of grace, that this moment of confusion is genuinely unsettling. The air shifts and kind of like grows tense with her own conflicting emotions.
You've killed him.
You wouldn't join us.
Never.
You wouldn't listen to reason.
In every timeline, and every possibility, not once have you, Galabate, ever betrayed Sumulai. For what reason have you done this?
Something has
To
to
curry
change.
favor? Change? What
There's
is it
only
you seek
one
to
person
change?
that can end the Wraith. That can make it stop. King Wungo. He can control anyone with this crown. Even you.
You think that little thing has enough power to corrupt me?
Even in here. Even where you are strongest. I guarantee you couldn't even match up.
You see the knights around look a little bit confused. The summer knight says,
You can
My lady.
feel it, can't you?
My lady, that one of them tried to put that on me. The redhead one over there. He tried to put that on me earlier. I think he's telling the truth about this crown. And you see Titania kind of like just waves him off. And as she does this, his mouth disappears. Just like vanishes off of his face. She glides forward, her feet barely disturbing the water, if at all. She looks down at you, Suma. You cannot see her, but Ruby and Gallet, you see on her face, it's hard to say. Might be pity, might be contempt, might be scorn. Difficult to read. Elok, you are maybe just like peeking over the one chair, being like, God, I have no fucking idea really what they're cooking up
What?
here. The context I got was jumbled and simultaneous, and I don't know if I know their full plan.
It was also
But
multiple
you were
plans,
watching
so he
as
doesn't know
well.
what they landed on.
There was multiple plans, yeah. Gallant, I want you to go ahead and give me, I guess, either persuasion or deception. I mean, you're not necessarily lying. Well, you're lying about thinking that Wongo can stop the Wraith. I don't think you think that. But you're not lying about what the crown is and what you think it might be able to do. So either one is fair game here.
Alright.
A 27. She walks forward towards you, glides forward. She says,
This thing is a mere plaything. Wongo is but a little slug who's overstepped his bounds. Gotten too big for his britches on account of some borrowed power that managed to lend its way to the Feywild. This thing is a toy.
and you see she takes it, lifts it up out of your hands, and she kind of examines it in the light. She looks down at you, Gallet, and she says,
I came here to execute Sumulai, so that his daughter would remain here in the Feywild with me. Tell me, what plans do you think King Wongo has for the girl? Do you think he means her good intentions? You think he's going to be kind to her?
It doesn't matter. She has power. And he's taking power. If he takes enough, the Red Wraith can be controlled. It can be finally stopped. He can take Calypso's power. He can take your power. He can take her power. And then he takes the Wraith's power. Enough, and even a frog could kill a god.
Give me one last persuasion or deception check. A 31. Okay.
Honestly, for that
That's
one,
my captain.
Gallant was pretty sure on that. Like, if you collect enough, like, there is a small part of him that believes in that argument.
Titania laughs, high and shrill. She says,
Let me show you how much power King Wungo actually has.
she takes the crown, lifts it, and places it upon her own head. And you see immediately like tendrils of moss and like roots and like fungi like dig into her hair and kind of like crawl in her scalp. She twitches a little bit, head kind of like groaning and twisting. You see a clash of energies as Wungo's power and her own power as an archfey clash and collide. There's like blinding lights that are shooting and exploding around.
No.
And then she eventually stills. She says,
See? I am still here of my own accord. I hear his incessant voices, yes. But I am singular. I am myself. He is nothing. You strike me as a good lad, Galatabate. I believe that Ela should be saved. I believe that if Sully stays here, when you all return back to Ela, you will have the strength to beat him back on account of the power which enables him to end the world, being here, safe, close to me.
and then you see a little bit, like one corner of her eye kind of like rolls back a little bit. And you can sense a little bit of Wungo's influence peeking through. You have the sense that perhaps at this moment you could ask of her a favor, or like say something that might be taken a bit better.
Should we ask her to try to take off?
Ruby?
To what?
I mean,
Should we ask her to try to take off the crown? If you're so powerful, try to take it off. And I don't know. I just don't. I'm not sure.
that's not the plan, Ruby.
I know it's not, but isn't that like? Is that better to not have her under Wungo's control? I don't know. What were you gonna ask?
Oh. Well, I mean, if you feel the need to do it, I'm currently in my role.
Yeah, do. Yeah.
So,
He's so deep and
I think
he's
we
so
have
I'm
valid
in
right now.
better anyways. I think I know.
So-
I think I know.
so I'm going with the role of, oh my god, she totally beat it. I killed him. And that's it? I thought this would work. He was my friend. Oh god.
Do you mourn for him, Galatabate?
Yes, but I need to worry about everyone else. I thought this something would change.
To lead is the heaviest crown of all. I understand. Everyone looks to you to make the hard decisions. No one knows the price that it takes.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize the strength you must have to have led for this long, for this well. I'm just a child with a hat too big. And I'm going to rift on over to him and pick him up gently. I'm sorry, old friend. And I'm going to lead him to his burial place.
Titania watches and allows you to do so. She bows her head at her knights as if to give you some space, some privacy. As you inter Suma, you see, as you carry his body into the tomb, there is like a set of bones there that kind of crumble and fade to ash, to dust, as you lay the new corpse down. The tomb slides over. Titania looks at you, Gallet, and she says,
For what it's worth, I'm sorry it had to come to this. I may have lost my head a little bit at a slight insult that was levied my way. But this is how it needs to go. If you could just have a word with Suli. Remind her that here is where she belongs. Perhaps you, as her father's friends, might be easier to listen to than I, a veritable stranger to her.
Of course.
I'll leave her to your care for now, but after a moment, my knights will escort her to the palace. And she goes, accompanied by
a couple of her knights, except for, we'll say winter stays. But the rest of them disappear. Suli runs into the garden, and she walks up to you guys like, "Hello, everyone, what happened? I heard the sounds of fighting."
It's
I mean, does she see Suma?
Suma's in a tomb.
Oh,
He's in a big casket currently, which was, it doesn't look any different.
I'm sorry, Suli.
What happened? What have you done?
The best I could. And that
She,
isn't good.
I think she stomps up to you and like grabs you by the lapel. She's like, "What do you mean the best you could? Where is my father?"
I just point my finger to the coffin. In there. Resting.
She rushes over to the coffin, just falls to her knees, weeping. In between gasps, you can hear her she's a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an element of teenage rage and frustration that comes out in cursing and blame. But even as she, shouts like, "How could you let this happen? How could you let him die?" Even as she hurls blame at everybody else, you can tell that who she blames is most likely herself for being the reason that her father has had to sacrifice so much so far already. Her tears flow. Suma, you are feigning dead.
I am, yes, and I
But
wish
you are
that I were
aware-
actually dead.
But you are aware of how she's feeling. I think you can still sense and like kind of perceive. Do you remain dead?
I think I do. Yeah, because I think in this moment, I think every bone in his body is screaming at him to like wake up and comfort her, but I think for the sake of the long con and getting everyone out of here safely and doing what we need to do, I think he sort of forces that urge down and just listens while his heart is sort of breaking.
Suli, after some time, dries her tears and just stands up wordlessly and begins walking from the tomb in a straight line. The winter night, you see, kind of like reaches out a hand and she just slaps it out of the way, and she walks out of the garden. And Liz, I'm gonna make a choice here.
Yeah, go for it.
She walks out, and I think she just screams for Titania. She like stamps her feet. Screams for Titania to return. She says, I know you can hear me. I know you're watching everything. I know you can hear everything. I know you can sense everything. I know you have power here. Bring him back. Hello? And she's just frustrated, getting more kind of like frazzled. I mean, if you guys want to follow her out on this tirade, you can, or you can just let her
I
do this
would,
by herself.
would try to let gently put a hand on the shoulder and let her know something, but she probably just throws it right off. But
For sure, yeah.
I would try to just, Suli, look at me,
What?
please. This is on me. Everything you feel, everything I've done, this is on me. If you feel hate, that is on me. But remember what your father was. He was a smart man. He knew who he joined. He knew the consequences. And he always had you in his heart first. Remember that. That he is a smart man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did somewhat let it slip unintentionally, but that did come out then in character. Is a smart man at the end.
Indeed.
And I'll just look to my crew. We're done here. This place has nothing for us. Suli, I hope you just hold on.
To be clear, Suli is staying here then? We are leaving?
Oh, yeah, no. Titania has made it very clear she's not going anywhere.
Okay. That was very lucky character.
Is that the plan, just to leave her, though? Like, once we're, like, booking it? Or how are we...
Yeah, I guess that's out of character. What was the plan there? Or are we coming back?
The plan was to... Everything's going according to plan. Let me make that clear. Let me make that perfectly clear for everyone that was there. Everything so far has gone to plan. So, after this, we're going to meet up where we first got here. Okay. And we're going to kill King Wungo. Due to that, like, Suli can't leave. Titania has made that very clear. Even if Titania couldn't have a say in it and King Wungo could, King Wungo wants Suli here. Guaranteed, due to power. So we're going to leave. We're going to meet up. We're going to kill King Wungo. After that, Titania owes us big. And so, we'll use that favor to get Suli out of this.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, are we gonna tell Suli at some point? So then, like, once Yuma say, like, unfeigned death, can we, like, still send her a message and say, like...
Oh, yeah, I mean, he it's up to him.
No.
So,
that
was out of character.
Sorry.
Ruby would know that plan. Stupid. I don't think Alok would fully grasp, like, our intention to go back into Suli.
Currently,
so I think
Alok barely knows this plan.
Yeah, so I think he actually thinks, like, oh, we're actually leaving Suli, which, to be fair, is kind of what he assumed was going to be happening in the first place, like, even before all this happened. So he'll go up to her and he'll just say, I'm sorry, obviously, for a lot that's just happened, but I'm sorry that we can't bring you. It's not the same thing, but I understand what it's like to bear responsibility for a power that you never asked for in the first place. And if it means anything, I've been in just as hard of situations, and I truly am sorry.
She kind of just like looks down, and she says, "So you all are just going to, what? Leave me here with her?"
I honestly don't know. I don't think there's much else we can do, and I understand what it's like to have to deal with that because I've had similar problems having to deal with something I didn't want to deal with in the first place, and I can only imagine what it's like for you.
She takes a deep breath. And you see the winter night comes over and places a frosty hand on her shoulder, and she just kind of like recoils a little bit at the cold of it. The winter night says, "We have to go now. Titania is waiting."
Wait, Winter Night.
One more thing.
Whatever your name. Yeah, one more
Yeah,
thing.
I have one more thing.
I don't know exactly the circumstances of it, but I assume after we beat the Red Wraith, we can come back and get you. So, like, if we can do that, I will definitely push for that, and hopefully with time, mumbo jumbo, that won't be too long. But I
While he's talking to Suli, I want to distract the Winter Night and still ask something of her.
Yeah.
Miss Winter Night. Claire, I don't know.
It's winter.
Winter, okay. Full name? Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You were born for this. Good try.
Little on the nose.
If the great Queen Titania could possibly take pity on us, we need rest. Or at least one of our party does. And then we'll be going. Can you, please, I beg of you, convince her to slow down time? I don't want another year to pass.
I'll put it in the word.
Thank you.
No guarantees, though.
And also, for the love of God, why does everyone know Cone of Cold? You do not even understand that kind of spell.
Honestly, it's just sort of my theme, baby.
Yeah.
And she walks. You see, she takes Suli by the arm gently, but definitely forcefully. And Suli is kind of like dragged off. She walks kind of like stiffly, monotone, a bit in a trance. And then suddenly, Suli stops. She looks up in the air. And you watch as a large collection of bolts, multicolored, chaos energy, crackle through the sky, chasing her down still through the dimensions after Yeska releasing that energy. You see, she just reaches out a hand. The energy flows into her. And then she like holds it there for a second. Again, Liz, I'm about to make a choice. Sorry. She looks at the winter night, energy charged in her hand, and she says, "Tell Titania for me that if she or anyone ever wants me to dance for her ever again, they're going to have to just tie strings to my corpse." And then she blasts the energy out at the winter night. It slams into her, cracks against a fence. The winter night collapses, unconscious, and Suli just walks out of the garden.
God. That could have been me!
Guys, I think we
Disappears.
just complicated things.
Oh my god.
Suli is not taking the death of her father well, which is something that is
Alright, so...
perhaps something you might have surmised. that she's not taking it well, that you guys killed her dad, basically,
teenage
and
angst.
was just like,
Classic.
and by the way, you're gonna just chill with Titania. We might come back for you later, though.
Yeah.
She does not take this well, and you see the magic wraps around her, and she vanishes somewhere. And on that note, on that image, Titania's rage at you guys, at Suma, has been quelled. No one knows that Suma's really alive yet. But Suli is now in the wind, in possession of a bit more of her powers than she was, and predictably is not willing to be somebody else's puppet. Although, Feywell's a small place when you're an archfey, and Titania might be knocking on wherever Suli ends up soon, but we'll see what happens with that next time. Okay.
On Dragon Ball.
Session. Thank you for
Wow.
the session.
Man.
That
This one
was
crazy.
Wait, before we fully
this one
end,
was crazy.
I
No,
will
you did not.
I will have to beg. I'm sorry, Liz, but you're gonna have to make that charisma saving throw because I want those memories. I really do.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It's not my best one, so yeah.
All right. With this extra time you have been given,
Now he's got one from each of us.
Okay.
Well,
I guess I'll message you between sessions to tell you what
So-
you got.
what's Gallet's plan to get one from Suli?
I'm probably not gonna mess with her. I'm good.
Yeah.
Being fully honest,
Mm-hmm.
her
That's
one
fair.
shotting the Winter Night has made that a bit scarier, and I was right to be scared.
Yeah. It was so hard for me to listen to you guys plan that because I was like, I have no idea how any of these characters are going to react to any of this. But I think the one thing I did know is that Suli is not going to take knowing Suma
Yeah.
died
No,
essentially
100%.
for her again in like kind of not a pointless way, but in like a way that didn't accomplish anything. You know what I mean? She's not going to take that well. And I think that for the moment, this is going to be what the situation is going to be. I mean, Suma's going to come back to life and be
Yes.
able to tell her
She's
that everything's
not gonna
fine.
take that well either. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck? You guys lied to me? You made me go through that?"
Yeah, it's not good either way.
Some
Yeah,
kinda
no
dad.
matter what,
Uh,
this sucks to be Suli.
Yeah,
but
I know.
honestly,
it was always
I
gonna
mean,
suck.
it seems like
just
through
be
most
happy
of
to
her
have her
life, it
dad
has
back.
sucked to be her.
But like, I also think if you guys told her, then like it may not have came across as authentic, and you know, because we would rely on her to be an
Exactly.
actor, which I don't think that's the skill she
Yeah.
picked up with
Yeah.
Yeska. So
Thank God that none of those rolls were low.
yeah,
You did
Yeah.
so well. Yes, it was
Yeah.
so good.
we finally rolled well this session, and when it mattered most.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yes,
those were
when it mattered
very
most.
important. Those were very important. Which is why I was like, yeah, I'm glad you said enhanceability because I was like, I knew
Yeah.
at least one of those roles had to
Was
be
going to
over
that.
30. Like in my head, I'm like, you're trying to talk to Tanya into doing something, like it's gonna be over a 30. You know what I mean? Like, which is already unreasonable to ask, but like, you know.
Oh, thank God I got the last roll then.
Yeah, you got the last roll. The most important one too. Like as sort of the things got more and more important, you rolled higher and higher, which is kind of like was a nice. Yeah, if that last roll was, for example, just the 29, would not have done it.
That's worrying.
To talk an archfey into doing something. I mean, like the circumstances were in your favor.
Oh yeah,
as
no,
to-
for sure. 30s
as to
are for
make it-
people like to talk. Those
Yeah,
30s are for
exactly.
the gods and archfey. Like that's the level of 30s.
Yeah, that's the level of like, and yeah, and you hit it. You hit the roll you needed to hit. That
Well,
I
we have
had
quite the
no
web to
idea.
untangle.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
stuff
a lot for us to do now.
going on now of like people who think one thing is another thing, and like
Yeah.
one goes. the
Feywild.
thing.
I also think you are a little too hopeful on she's gonna owe us for taking care of Wungo, because one, we put the crown on her, and two,
That's right.
she may say, "Oh yeah, I paid you guys back by not killing Sumo right now," and that might be all we get. So I feel
Right.
like
I,
you're-
did think of
think-
that, but
I think
it's fine.
I think we're working with. I think with Fey
It's the best we
rules,
can
she
do.
owes us.
Well, yeah, I know she owes us, but it depends on like how much and what.
You
she
gotta
owes
hope
us,
that like
but-
she just likes your gumption. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
you know what?
Which I could see that. So
I am very likable. I'll have you know. And very hateable.
But there's definitely a lot of variables, and the best we can do is just go kill a
Our
frog.
best.
Let's just go kill a
Yeah.
frog, see where we go from there.
Yeah, go kill a frog. Yeah, you guys are gonna get to, go into a swamp and like
It's
kill
gonna
some
be
hags.
so easy to kill.
It's gonna be
King.
nice and normal. It's, a little dungeon, Wow, this was session 4 of the Feywild. I feel like so much has happened.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
We just said it was gonna be kind of short, so
I'm
Yeah,
so
also-
worried about King Wungo.
yeah.
No.
King Wungo sure
Because
is
the
a character.
knights were giving us all the damage.
Yeah, the knights were crazy. The knights were like, technically the stat blocks I was using for one of them, it said CR10, and I buffed them a little bit. Like they're
Are
to hit.
CR10s supposed to be fought against level 10s? Is that how that works?
I think it doesn't really math out perfectly, but usually like fighting multiple CR of the same level as you is like kind of an average fight. But we came into it with like low resources and health, so
Yeah.
Yeah. And I buffed them a little bit, like they're to
Yeah.
hit and
so
their
it was a
AC.
little deadly.
Although I think it just sort of like worked out in a bad way. Like that crit was pretty big
Oh,
on
yeah.
Suma.
And they
I
were
think
rolling
the fight
well,
plays
we
out
were
different.
rolling bad.
Yeah,
it
like,
it
Yeah,
was
they rolled
also,
pretty well too.
It
That
definitely
is
could've
one of
been
the
different.
biggest like things with like D&D I found out, which is usually the party has a good advantage in general. But
Yeah.
the session the DM starts rolling well and we don't. That's it.
It can
That is
spiral
it.
real fast. I rarely put you guys in positions. I realize this is a flaw in myself, actually, as a DM. I'm very like, boss fight, one big thing you're fighting. I rarely put you against this like 4 dudes who also have options.
Yeah,
there's a
no,
lot
that's
of them.
way harder.
And they can all do stuff, not just like one big boss you can wail on forever.
Yeah. Action
Um,
economy, oh no!
Yeah, the action economy was crazy.
And all of them
Um,
going on the same turn was rough.
That was
Yeah.
rough.
Well,
was-
technically, you guys also all went at the same time because you guys.
Yeah,
were like,
but it
Once
we
always
passed
feels
them.
more rough.
Yeah, I was mostly worried about their face steps. That's why I was worried about hiding, so I figured one would just teleport on me and fucking slaughter me in melee. I'd have no chance.
yeah, I gave all their
Yeah,
face
I'll
steps like
spare.
extra abilities too.
If we
I
ever have
basically
to fight
made
again,
them
we
all,
we
like,
need
thunder
to get
steps,
rid of the
basically.
Summer Knight.
I think there is like normal face steps that do stuff like that, but usually it's like effects, like charm.
Yeah, usually it's
or-
like you charm everybody,
yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, that was fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was like not at all what I thought the session would be like. But it was
I
great.
thought we were
Me?
gonna fight, but ooh.
Me neither. I honestly did not know whether or not you would take the Wungo deal. I did not know whether or not like you would win or lose the fight because you could have gotten a crown onto one of them and that would have turned the fight pretty significantly, which would have made this entire thing go very differently.
But then
The whole
Queen Tanya
faking
showed up.
Faking Suma's death thing was not on my bingo card. I was not. I was not. There's actually, I was trying to prep for the session and I was like, there's going to be a lot of people giving them options and I'm just not going to prep anything. I'm just going to let them make a plan because I know I'm never going to be able to predict what plan they make. And I would never have predicted that. I didn't even know you could pull other people into the ring like that.
Yeah, you're 10th level, finally.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah,
waiting
that,
for it.
that was insane. And then whoever made the point of like, wouldn't time work differently? And I'm like,
Yeah.
time would work differently. And so now in my head, I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe they'll win the fight now because they'll have a long rest. And then you came up with this entire plan, and I'm like, okay.
What it's I don't know if it's, if you want to hold off on it at least until the end of the arc, but could we have actually won that? Queen Titania was there. That's
Yeah, that's what
the
I was thinking.
main-
Like, we killed the knights.
like
Titania
even
was
if
there
we
anyways.
beat the Knights, Queen Titania is right there.
She would not have fought you guys, is the thing. It would have been like to me, in my head, if you guys won the fight, it would have been like a show of force, like a show of like, hey, we're capable. Maybe we
Yeah.
can protect Suli. Like you would have had the chance to make that argument, and then it would have been persuasion rolls and stuff like that. Like like we've bested like some of your best knights. Like we can protect Suli this time around. You know what I mean?
Wow, that would have been so boring. I'm happy we went with the way more traumatic route.
Yeah, after the first round of Knights, my first like the immediate thought was like, oh, we're gonna have to like logically speak to her and like say, hey, yo, let's chill. But
Hey, yo.
I think the way it
what's
went was way
poppin'?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna like.
And that's,
Wait, what would you say, Viv?
I was just say Suli's super edgy now, which I like for her.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a phase.
I'm glad I was able to give that to her.
Yeah,
Be a
yeah.
hot topic teen now.
I was like, I'm a bit hesitant sometimes to like make her react in certain ways, but I'm like, she's a teenager and she just she just basically figured out her dad died and was like low-key betrayed by his friends, and like
Yeah.
now she's
Yeah.
kind of getting betrayed. Like I didn't want her to lash out against you guys other than like verbally, but I'm like, she's not taking this lying down. I don't think. Like she has a bit more spunk than that. I think she's not gonna just be like, oh, I guess I'm, like so sad about this that I'm just gonna go along with what everyone says. I think, if you're a teenager, you're gonna rebel. You're gonna like, get the fuck out of there.
And that's actually pretty nice because that might just like, hold up Queen Titania for a while.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. God, I'm loving this arc for your guys' ability to surprise me. I think I've gotten a lot of surprises this arc from you guys, and it's been delicious every time.
Yeah, it's
All right,
fine.
guys.
I like that.
So now that we've gotten here, let's figure out how we can split the party and do two things at once.
Yeah, honestly, I think if we split it half and half, one goes for King Wongo, one goes for Queen
Naturally.
Titania, and we're gonna beat them
Naturally.
both.
Yep. Yeah.
And then one of us goes to look for Suli, obviously.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
that's
let's-
obviously a Ruby mission.
Let's split up 4 ways. We all can take on one quest.
Yeah, you know what? We never do that.
Yeah. I wonder why. Let's do it.
One of us hasn't went to the, we just haven't seen the Unseelie Court, and I've been honestly a bit excited for it. I wanted to check it out.
When we got here and they were like surprised that we came back, because they're like, in no timeline did they ever come here and like, fight them and whatever. My first thought was, oh, I guess we were never dumb enough to do it before. This is the first timeline we're stupid enough to take that deal.
Like,
That's
oh my
funny.
god. Yeah, no, I was worried about that specifically. I just never voiced it, which is, doesn't she know us to a good degree?
Yeah.
I was just hoping acting chops would be enough.
And they were.
Yeah, and they were.
I mean,
I
and
I
also,
like to think that
we could be mind controlled. She doesn't know.
I also like to think that like, she's a bit out of touch.
Mhm.
I think she kind of operates on the assumption that all like humans, mortals, are as sort of fickle as she is. And so it would kind of make sense to her.
Because she wouldn't be
they-
lacking, obviously.
Exactly.
She couldn't be.
Exactly.
She's great.
God, faking Suma's death.
I think the story too of like it being Suma again standing his ground with Suli, I think like that's very in character and that's very believable. So I think that makes sense too. Because that's one thing
Yeah.
that Titania like does know really well about Suma. Like, yeah, Suma would do that. So I think that's
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
everything
I have a
worked out
lot of
like-
thinking to do. Because
How
this
many
is the way
times
this
does
turned
everything
out.
go to plan? Like, everything went
Rarely.
to plan. Like, actually, I think is this the first time that like we had a plan
Yeah,
and literally everything went right?
Usually there's some improvising, but this time the roles just worked out.
Yeah, the roles really worked out, and I don't know. I definitely think if you guys had tried to like jump scare her with the crown, that would not have ended well. Which is why I threw you guys that bone, because I'm like,
That bone.
you know what I mean? Like, I also just felt like this is how these stories go. It's very like Greek god type of thing, where they kind of have to like talk Zeus into doing something for them by like appealing to his ego. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's how the story.
Those
you
are
don't
the better stories for sure.
You don't overpower Zeus and then make him do a thing for you. You like be like, "Oh, I bet you couldn't, do that." You know what I mean? Like that's how it always goes in those kinds of stories.
And
So
then
that's kind of what I
Zeus
was.
always gets his revenge, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
is how
was-
that part works.
I was picturing. I assumed you guys would do like a flattery angle, like oh, we're so sorry for what Suma did. We have these gifts for you. Here's a plot of land. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I thought you would play it. That's kind of what I was like kind of prepared for. But this was better. This is more dramatic, certainly.
Yeah. I will say
Yeah.
what didn't go to plan necessarily was probably Suli. Because, like, we expected her to not take a well, but teleporting away maybe is a little
Actually, that is the thing
problematic.
that we didn't plan for that, but that is I still feel better.
But that could still be problematic. Like, yeah, I don't know. It might
It
be
could
problematic.
potentially go bad, but her distracting Titania to a degree is really nice because
Yeah,
Titania
that's true.
is now someone that would protect King Wongo to a degree.
That's true. I was also thinking about that because, like, obviously it's not like full mind control, but I was thinking, like, what if he did get her to like help out somehow, like help him when we fought him?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was worried about
But-
that.
But also, I don't trust him, and I get power.
Oh, it's true.
I'll kill many things for power.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Alright.
that was a good rehash. It's almost
Yeah.
11:30. Thank you guys for staying a bit
That was
a bit
fun.
over.
Awesome.
Yeah. This was I didn't know how this was gonna go, but it ended up working out really well.
Yeah.
Sorry for coughing the whole time. I hope that wasn't
That's
distracting.
No.
But
that's fine.
Yeah, can you
I'll
be a
see
little
you
less
guys.
dead? I'm trying to play D&D here.
I'll
Yeah.
fucking try.
How
It made
inconsiderate of you to
playing
die.
Lungo a bit easier. I had a bit more rasp to my
Got a
voice.
little.
You're like,
Yeah.
let it out.
I had a little bit of, the Lungo.
Don't
I
forget
always
to
feel
talk-
like
Flintstone gummies.
I always feel like if I DM after I'm sick, I do the male voices way better. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
and
this
then
guy sounds cool for one session.
And then I was like, oh, my Titania sounded way deeper than it did last time because my voice is just shot.
I thought it sounded
Yeah,
normal.
I can't wait to think about this for the next 2 weeks because I'm gonna need to think about this for the next 2 weeks in order to
I think we have to do a little thinking too.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, we're fine.
I
figure
think we
out
basically know
plans
what
and
our
stuff.
plan is, but
Yeah.
it's good to think about it just in case we're missing something.
I think we're at our best when we're just throwing things together and hoping for the best.
Yeah, I think we're at our best when our plan is let's go kill something.
Honestly, that is when we sort of come together as a team.
That definitely works.
Yeah. All right, everybody, huddle up in the ring. Let's just fucking let's think for a couple hours. Was very on brand.
That was sick. That was very sick.
It sucks that Alok wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time.
That talk would
But
have
in a
taken
way,
way longer because I would have been telling you guys no at every turn. So it's a good thing
You've- fucking up the throw and then having all that happen in the water made things so much more like unnecessarily cinematic. And I kind
Yeah.
of love it. Kind of love it.
In the middle of the water, just popping out.
All right. Good night, y'all. Get some rest. Thank
See
you
ya
for the sesh.
later.
Night
ya.
night. Bye.
Good night.
See you guys.